Hey, Auntie, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Come on in, everyone. Hey, Latte, come on in. Let me go get me a bottle of water. Come on in. Whew. Seems like the days is getting chilly. Like in the mornings now, it's getting a little chilly. I don't know. We're going to have an early little fall here. I don't know. But the mornings are getting a little cool. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a good day so far. I'm having a good day. Just tired, but I'm okay. So, yes, yes, yes. Latte, how's your son doing? And y'all, we're going to talk about what do we really think that's going to, with the Nolan case, what do y'all really think about it? Do y'all think the mother going to get justice for this case? Uh, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. We still pray, but I don't know. Things is crazy. I don't trust nobody in Mississippi. Shit, I feel like I know the mother ordered internet stuff and text messages, the CTO calls. I don't trust them neither. They might try to redact some of this stuff out. Who knows? They can't be trusted neither. Hmm. He's at school. I'm about to call the doctor's office to say about. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Everything's going to work out fine for him. But Lante, being that he have to go do surgery or whatever, are they going to excuse him from gym until the surgery? So, and I was watching. I don't know who the guy was. I was just watching this guy live yesterday. He was playing someone else's live, and the guy was saying that. Now I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying what um he was saying. He was saying that Ben Crump called the emergency meeting, I guess with the mom or whatever the case may be, and they were saying that so his training football coaches are aware of the okay, 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 got you. So he was saying basically that I wish I can find that live, but I'm not subscribed to that channel. He was basically saying like, um, they didn't find no foul play, and Ben Crump he knows about it, and that's why they hired a new attorney, which is the black guy. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he was saying on his live last night that they didn't find no foul play. Um, and he was reading it. He was reading it too. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if it's true or not, y'all, but I'm gonna get into some text messages, y'all, from um whoever come in, they can watch the replay, whatever. So let's get into these text messages that I don't know. I don't know what to say no more, y'all. I really don't because we not getting. Hold on, y'all. Hello. Because we're not getting no updates. It's like I guess we left on our own to figure it out. Of what's really happening, what's really going on. So I don't know. So let's get into. I'm gonna get into these text messages and I'm gonna play something from Willie D. I like his lives. Okay, so let me bring.
Again, my condolences goes out to his family, and my prayers go out to his siblings, his friends, all of them. And this is why it's important that I have this discussion today. Y'all, the story that we've been told about the whole Nolan Wells situation just fell apart because it didn't fall apart over an argument. It fell apart because of the words. Text messages dropped. Yes, some text messages
Hey,
came out, and
Misty,
before
how
I
are you
show
doing?
you
I'm
any
doing great, sis.
receipts,
How are
I'm going
you?
to give you the verdict. The narrative has been false, allegedly, and I'll say allegedly for internet purposes. And I'm about to show you every bit of it and who kept pushing it anyway, knowing the truth, allegedly. I want you to watch all the way through because what I'm about to show you is not what you have been told this entire
Hey,
time. And I
Tabitha.
hope you're open enough to take off that race grifting sunglasses and see the truth. So let's jump in. So here's what we know. We know that Nolan Wells was an 18-year-old young man who, on the 4th of July, went out to one island with his friends in Mississippi. It was about 20 to 30 of them on multiple boats. He went missing, couldn't find him, and when he was found, his life was tragically lost. Now the thing is, the story has been running for weeks, and there's a specific part that we kept hearing prior to Officer Tatum going out there and speaking to the young men. We heard that these young men were not being cooperative. They wouldn't answer anything. They probably are hiding something. Why do they shut down their social media? Why do they need an attorney? These are all things that we're hearing. Now, y'all know how this goes. When there is some kind of tragedy within the Black community, and if they are adjacent to anyone white, the machine starts turning. And the machine needs a script. And every script needs a villain, y'all. Come on. So for this script, the friends became the villain, allegedly. But here's what I learned doing all of this. A false narrative always leaves a paper trail. And now that paper trail finally has been released. So let me show y'all what we found. So before we go diving into these receipts, I want to give you what I have concluded after checking this. Number one, Christine Wansley had direct contact with Warren. Now, you know, Christine Wansley is Nolan's own mother, and she was directly texting with Warren. This wasn't a stranger that she was chasing. She had his number. She was able to chit chat with him. In fact, she was messaging with him from around 11:15, allegedly that very night, the same night that Nolan went missing. So the frame of the unreachable strangers, that's out the window. She could reach him, and she was. And you'll see that. Number two, every question was answered. He wasn't difficult. He answered every question. The text shows that Warren was answering her directly. what time Nolan was last seen, where they were, what happened on the boat, what was he wearing. And y'all, not just talking, coordinating with the Coast Guard, coordinating with Jackson County Sheriff's Office. That, y'all, is not a man hiding. That is someone being helpful. So him hiding something, that doesn't sound like that. But number three, and y'all need to stop right here, because when you dig into these text messages as we go in, you'll find out that this wasn't a stranger relationship. This wasn't just a random acquaintance. This was a friendship that Nolan and Warren had. In fact, best friends since 8th grade. It says in the text message. That's the language in those texts. So every headline that
But oh, you gotta remember, baby, that because somebody was cool with you since 8th grade, that don't mean they're your friend. I just gotta say that. My kids did not call people their friends because they went to school with them from kindergarten to 12th grade or from ninth grade to 12th grade. It was just associate that they, knew of. My kids wasn't fond of saying everybody was their friend. And then again, in my opinion, a friend would have never left his friend out on the island like that. I just feel in my heart they was not his friend. That because he communicated with the mother or whatever, I just don't feel it was a friendship to me.
frame Warren and the friends as some kind of outsiders that wouldn't cooperate, uh, they were telling a story the texts themselves don't back up. So let's check out these text messages. Why don't we? Here's the first one. Warren, where is this car? This is Christine texting, allegedly, at Jax's house. Where is that? Can you send me the address where you guys launched? Yes, ma'am. Very respectful. What time was the last time you guys saw him? 3 p.m. And he sends a map. So let's go on to the next text message. Okay. So she asks, what was he wearing? And he proceeds to answer her. Here we go. He says, black shorts and sunglasses. As we've now learned, he said black shorts, but he thought he remembered them black, but they were blue. Then she says, can you call me at DMR? And she provides a number. He says, on the phone right now with Coast Guard. I will after. Yes, ma'am. Continued respect. She says, thank you so much. Then she says,
But that don't mean that he don't know what happened. That don't mean nobody didn't do nothing to Nolan and he didn't know because he was being respectful. You got a lot of people out here have did things to people and they was respectful to the family, respectful to authorities, all of that because they know they are guilty. So that doesn't mean because he was respectful to the mother that he was innocent. That doesn't mean that. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. That's just my opinion. I mean, people is guilty know how to play a good game. They know how to do that to make that stuff look good. They know how to manipulate you.
we have to file a missing persons report. So one more time, tell me exactly where you saw him last. I'm so sorry I'm asking you to repeat this. So don't see any animosity in these text messages. So he says, 3 p.m. West Tip, north side of Horn Island. She says, where did you guys launch from? He says, we launched the boats yesterday evening and left from here this morning. So again, shows exactly where everything is, provides the drops of pin so she's able to find it. So she's not running around the place frantic, not knowing who to go for answers because she's getting the answers straight from Warren. Let's go to the next one. So
Well, if you want to be honest, he didn't give no true answers. And like I said again, of course he was going to be cool with her, with the mother, with through the text messages, because he didn't want the lady to think anything. That's only common sense. That's only common sense that he's going to do that. He don't want the mom to think anything negative about him, so he's going to cooperate with her in the beginning. Okay, yeah. But then after a while, the mother didn't feel comfortable as though she felt like Warren was telling her the truth. So she probably started feeling some type of way.
we continue. She says Nolan's just around 2:24 a.m. on July 5th. Nolan's dad is at the house to pick up the key. Then Sunday, July 5th at 1:02 p.m. Hey Warren, what kind of sunglasses was Nolan wearing yesterday? This is what she asked. And he says, I'm pretty sure Ray-Bans, Mrs. Christine. Then July 5th at 5:15 p.m. He says, hey, Mrs. Christine, just wanted to check in. We went out this morning to look, and I've been on and off the phone with Jackson County Sheriff's Office today. If you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. She says, thank you. And he says, we are all praying for your family. And she says, we appreciate it. Again, don't see much animosity here, do you?
Of course. Come on, adults. We got to be smarter. Of course. Why is he so busy on the phone with the police department and all that? Why didn't he wait till the police department reach out to him? Let Christina handle this. But if you want to still stay in contact with her, you could. But why you on the phone with the Coast Guard, with the police department? I mean, a lot of things that he did just show guilt right away. A lot of things that he did. That's just my opinion.
So then she continues, what is the make and model of boat you guys were on? He says, Nolan went out on the 22 Triton offshore. I was on the 24 Tideline on the way out. We were on separate boats. I went back on the Triton. DMR and the sheriff's office has all this information also. So he lets her know we've already provided everything that they need so we can help locate Nolan. She said,
was it really to help locate Nolan, or was it really to get their story together early on? Okay. let's be honest here.
on July 6th at 1:37 p.m., hey, Warren, can you collect any of Nolan's items left at Jax's house? So now we've come down to the last text message. So time has passed. I will assume, in my own opinion, at this point, Ben Crump and Al Sharpton have entered the picture. Reason why I feel like they've entered the picture is because the last text message she sent was July 6th at 1:37 p.m. and then there's no contact. July 20th, he sends her a message. He says, good morning, Mrs. Christine. So y'all know this is when all the firestorms have come out. The death threats have been thrown at these young men, allegedly, even though we've seen them online. You can go look it up, find it yourself. He texts, and this is after his stepmother has reached out to Christine, allegedly, and she has not responded. So he says, good morning, Miss Christine. I just want to let you know that my family and I have been praying for you and your family. Nolan was one of my best friends since we were in 8th grade together. You and Mr. Elmore raised one of the best men I've ever met. I wish I could be there today, but I would never want to take the attention off of your family and Nolan and be a distraction. Thank you for being the best parents that Nolan could have. That is
okay. But have you seen things lately when he come out talking down on the mother, all of this stuff? He didn't really care about Nolan. He didn't. He got mad because Nolan's mother posted that picture of them on the boat. She didn't post the picture to be reckless, mean, or anything. She posted the picture because her son was missing. She wanted people to know who her son was with last, the boat he was on, the color shorts that he had on. It was like putting a missing report out. That's what it basically was, of her son. He's missing. She wanted the public help to find her son. Okay. So I didn't believe nothing they said then, and I don't believe nothing they say now.
how that was the last text message. And I'm saying that's the last text message because it seems, allegedly, maybe, and I'm saying in my opinion, that she never responded after he sent that beautiful text message. And the reason why it seems like that to me is because Sarah is censored, is someone that investigates, and I commend her for the work that she does. I feel like if Christine had responded, that message would have been included. But there is no other message. So just that in itself is problematic to me. But again, the race grifters have come into town, so they can't allegedly, in my opinion, have you talking.
It wasn't problematic for me. Maybe she started getting funny vibes towards him, like something wasn't adding up. And that's why she didn't want to text back, because I'm like that. Okay. When I started getting funny vibes with someone, I won't text back. Hey, think what you want to think, feel how you want to feel. Okay. Because one thing about me, my discernment is very, very strong, and it picks up on people quick. So maybe, she picked up like this is not real. She don't believe things that he's saying. Her connection was with him. It was off. Maybe in the beginning she did try to believe him and had a little connection with him. And after that, maybe everything just went away.
To the boogeyman that they have just created now, can they? But as you see, And let me recap for you. There was direct contact, every question answered, a friendship going back years. And that is what the receipts are showing us. And that is not the story that was amplified this entire time. Now, is it? Now, here's where the time will make your blood run cold, because I need you to sit with what I'm about to show you with your own two eyes. Because the video I'm about to show you is from July 22nd. And at this point, the receipts that we just saw hadn't come out as yet. At that moment, the only story the public was hearing is that my son went out with these three boys. Eventually, Tatum got out there and we heard it was 20 to 30 of them. But my son basically, Nolan went out with these three white boys. It was the four of them. The three white boys came back. Nolan did not.
Okay, it was 20 or 30 boys, but that don't mean her son knew those 20 and 30 boys. That don't mean her son was with those 20 and 30 boys. Those boys could have been just with Warren and his other friends. Okay, I can go out with my friend. It can be 20 or 30 or 40, 50 people. That don't mean they know me and I'm with them. And that don't mean my friend know all of them. They could be just there. You don't know because we wasn't there, so we can't say that the boys was Nolan's friends, okay? Because he clearly said that some of his buddies did come, and that don't mean that Nolan knew those boys. I don't care if it was 100 boys. That don't mean Nolan knew them.
The young men have turned off their social media. They're not answering any questions. They're not being cooperative. They've hired an attorney. All of these were the narratives that we were hearing. And it was being pushed really, really hard. So I want y'all to check out this video.
Exactly, Tamala.
Historic and monumental day, a day of faith, a day of witness, a day of testimony. Grateful for the unwavering voice of our community's attorney, Ben Crump, and his amazing family, who even in the face of trauma and tragedy, found the resilience and the audacity of hope. They just come out of the press conference, and now we're at the Obama Center. I just say that their light is still shining. What we're asking for is prayer, asking for family and asking for community, that justice is still available. And when that happens, this will finally be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Keep this family lifted in prayer and know that God's got
justice for Nolan Wells.
justice for Nolan Wells.
So what did they say bad, Miss? No disrespect to you or anything, but what did they say bad? They didn't say anything bad in this video. Like, I'm looking at this video like a mom is crying out for help. She only wants to know what happened to her son. And this is why I don't understand why people just don't understand where she's coming from. She just want to know what happened to her child. She don't feel like her child just drowned. And she have a right as a mother to feel the way she want to feel about what happened to her child. Now, if she would have got on this internet and said, yeah, I think my son drowned, no one didn't do anything to him, everybody would have loved it, that took that and ran with it, period.
Like I said, this video came out July 22nd. Well, it was posted on July 22nd. They found, if I'm not mistaken, Nolan's body July 6th. So this is like about a 2-week time span. There in Chicago with Ben Crump, William Murphy, and Jamal Bryant at the Obama Library. And they've done a press conference there. And somebody in that group knows that these the narrative that's being pushed about these young men is not factual.
But you don't know that because you was not there. Just like we wasn't there, we don't know that. We're speculating. But I can believe that a lot of things that we speculated can be factual. Okay? And if these boys didn't do it, they know something. They know something. So I don't blame Christina for cutting them off. And she didn't have to talk to Warren's mother again, as AKA stepmother is not his real mother. She owed this lady no loyalty at all. At all. That's not her son. And I wouldn't have spoke to the bitch neither. No, I don't owe you no loyalty. Like you don't owe me no loyalty, because that's not your real son. Where's his real mother that was there? Okay, that was on the island, that Warren admitted to himself that his mother was there on the island. Why she didn't want to speak to Christina? Let's talk about that.
I think around that time, maybe if not mistaken, and I have to check back, Tatum started talking to those boys, and people were saying that they were lying, they have stuff to hide. I believe the death
They are
threats started
lying.
coming in. Here's the thing about people who build a story on a lie. They always hope the receipts never drop. And I'm not talking about the parents per se. I don't know who knew that this was a lie. I don't know all who knew. But we know they hope no one ever finds out that the friends were helping the entire time, that Warren was answering every question, that the whole they won't cooperate with us was fiction. Because the moment those receipts come out, the whole chant collapses. Your boogeyman is seen to
No, nothing collapsed. Nothing collapsed at all. Okay, those receipts came out just to try to manipulate the internet to make Christina look bad, as though this boy was being nice to her, friendly to her, trying to help her, and Christina didn't respond back. See, one thing about me, I'm not stupid to anything. I am an empath. I pick up things very quickly. You know, I'm sorry you don't see it that way, but that's what it's about. That's why those receipts came out to make Christina look like a bad person. That's all it was. That's all it was. That's why those receipts came out, to make her look bad. Like they was trying to be nice to her. They felt bad for her. They was sorry her son went missing. They didn't do anything to her son. They was trying to help her find out what happened to her son. That's why they put those receipts out. They didn't put those receipts out in good faith. It was no good faith at all. Because when Mr. Potato Head got involved, he just went crazy, manipulating the kids, telling the kids what to say behind the scene, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? He railroaded those kids' minds, manipulated their minds. He was not a good person at all.
be no boogeyman at all. And this is my problem with these people. They made sure to set up in the backdrop of the Obama Center. This video was edited to throw in pictures of Obama, them talking and speaking to the
I don't think these videos was edited at all. I don't think they edited anything. I think they showed what they wanted to show, and they had a right to show what they wanted to show. Hey, if Obama wanted them to come to their new spot, whatever the case may be, hey, it is what it is. But I don't think these videos was edited. Maybe somebody else maybe edited them, and posted them, and you took the edit from those people. But I don't believe that Ben Crump edited anything when it came to these photos.
family. Um, Jamal Bryant even used a Barack Obama phrase of the audacity of hope, all of it, to placate into people's emotions. That's what we just witnessed. But my question is,
And that's what we witnessed from Mr. Potato. We witnessed that from him. He's a narcissist. Okay. He know how to manipulate people's minds. Okay. He made a whole shit show out of this real life story. Okay. That because he went out there to the island, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Didn't nobody even know nothing about him until this case. Okay. He was a nobody. Like he still is a nobody to me. Because he just made this situation worse than what it was. He didn't do no help. He harmed more than he helped. That's it. And the only reason them boys went on his show, because they know if they'd have went on someone else's show, they got a free mind, think for themselves, think logical, smart, educated. They wouldn't have done that because they know that they would have picked them boys' brains apart, and those boys knew that they couldn't handle the questions that was going to really people was going to throw at them. Okay, that's all that was. It was manipulation.
and I'm always going to ask this question: who benefits from all this? I want to know if y'all ever thought about that. Let's dive into that question. So this young man's life is tragically lost, and that is what we know. But the race grifters don't.
Who benefited from it? Well, we know they don't, because we know they didn't care. We know Mississippi law enforcement don't give a damn, because here it is the 26th of August and they still haven't said nothing, done nothing. They don't give a damn. We see that. We see they trying to cover it up because the detective came out 2 days later after the boy died and say they don't think it's no foul play. He drowned. So who? Come on now, let's be real.
Run on tragedy. They run an outrage. They need outrage. Look at the Carmelo Anthony case. They need outrage. And outrage always needs a boogeyman. So when the facts got inconvenient because they couldn't create a boogeyman out of that initially, when the friends were cooperating, the narrative had to bend to them. They won't answer. They're getting attorneys. They're hiding something. The system is covering for them.
Yeah, they are. They are, miss. The system is covering. Okay? They covering. Okay? Look at the dynamic of these kids, family members, fathers, mothers, the boat owners. They are covering. It don't take a blind person to see that they are covering. They are. And I would have moved the same way Christina did. If my motherfucking son went any goddamn body and he didn't return, everybody is a suspect to me at that point. I don't give a damn if my son knew him for 50 years. Everybody gonna be a suspect until we sort this shit out. I don't know if you got adult kids or whatever the situation may be, but I hope you can look at things a little different if you do, because this definitely was a cover up. I'm sorry to tell you, this definitely was a cover up, and we definitely knew they was trying to cover up in the beginning from day 2 when the detective came out and said some shit the way he said it. Okay, and the mother reached out to Ben Crump. Ben Crump didn't reach out to that mother at all. Someone led the mother to Ben Crump, and I felt like the mother went to Ben Crump when she started saying shady shit that wasn't right, and she was feeling it. Because, like I said, see, everybody don't have a discernment. It's okay, but God ain't say be dumb and blind either. Okay, that's a fact.
The law enforcement, I don't know if they're going to do the job well. The courts, I don't know.
She said,
and
put her
all
in her
through
place,
July,
Miss D.
while that live was still standing, the machine was out there touring in Ben Crump, Al Sharpton. They were all out there. Every time you turn around, they were talking about how these young men. Well, I'm not saying it. Y'all say I shouldn't say it's racism, but why shouldn't I say it is? And before,
Because Mississippi have a history of it. So that's why people are saying that. Okay, they're not leaving unturned. Because Mississippi has a bad reputation of it. Even people that stays in Mississippi is saying this. Come on. So who you going to believe? Come on. They have a bad history of it. A very bad history of racism down there. Very bad. Even the judge, Carlos, maybe you should go find him and look him up and, look at some of his videos and stuff. He was from Mississippi. He know how it is as being a judge. And after he was done, he got the hell out of there. He know it's very racist down there. You even got some white people that's still living there, and they say it's racist there. So come on. Let's be real.
I hear something, I smell something. All that foolishness. Young justice for Nolan. Not stopping to say, let us see what the investigation says. No,
fuck the investigation. We are the investigators. These strong ass YouTubers out here, we are the investigators. We are the investigators, and I think we now added and put more stuff together with our logical thinking that we know that something did happen to Nolan. We don't know exactly what, but with the logical thinkers that we have on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we know that Nolan did not drown on his own. We know that something did happen to Nolan. We definitely does know that.
I'm not going to tear this mother down because she lost a child. And I keep telling y'all, I'm praying for her, not with her, because I don't know. When you circle yourselves with the likes of Jamal Bryant and Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, I don't know who you pray to. So I'm praying for them to Jesus Christ, that he opens up their eyes and removes that skin idolatry off of them. Because clearly when you start moving in that circle, it's concerning. What I'm going to do, like I said, I'm not going to tear her down because she lost her son. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the truth to the light. And the receipts released.
No, you're not holding the truth to the light, lady. Okay, because you was not there. It's like I wasn't there. None of us was not there. So you cannot hold the truth to the light because you seen them fucked up ass receipts right there, and you think this boy was being genuine in those receipts. I think he was being genuine in those receipts because he was trying to cover up his bullshit. That's what he was trying to do. So you mean to tell me if a man send you some nice cutting text message, you're gonna fall for it? Okay, you're gonna fall for it because that's what it sounds like to me. Anybody text me and started saying all this stuff, I'm not gonna believe everything I hear, and I believe half of what I see. Okay, so what you're trying to say, them text messages that you just showed on your platform, you're trying to say this boy was genuine. He loved Nolan because he went to school with Nolan since 8th grade. He would never do anything to hurt Nolan. He would never see no one hurt Nolan. No. Them some fake, false ass text messages. He was trying to get ahead of the fucking game. Okay? And Christina instinct kicked in real quick and cut that mother sucker right on off like she needed to do. Because that's what I would have did as a mother with boys. Okay? Everybody say they know God and believe in God and worship God. I don't trust half of y'all motherfuckers neither, because I don't know about you.
The truth, even when the people standing behind those podiums will not tell the truth. The gap between the narrative and the receipts, that's the girth. Somebody filled that gap with a lie, and the lie did the work the facts wouldn't, because they needed that outrage. And for weeks.
No. Those receipts was fake. Okay? Those receipts was fake. And I'm not saying fake that someone texted them. I'm saying fake because he was fake. He was fake. And I see no disrespect to you, but I see that you don't analyze things good neither. One thing about me and two things for certain, I analyze shit. And I can feel when shit ain't right because of what I've been through in my life. Okay? No, those receipts was fake. That was a cover up. Okay? So the mother won't think nothing about them. So they can have the mother think that they're hurt, they're in pain, they're grieving over Nolan, they're sorry. No, none of that. All that shit was fake as shit. All of it was fake. Period. It was all fake.
It did that work. You had people calling in threats on the friends of Nolan Wells from different parts of the United States.
No, she ain't had nobody doing a motherfucking thing. She can't control the United States. The United States did that because that's what the fuck they wanted to do. She cannot choose the United States and tell, oh yeah, the United States, y'all stop doing that. Y'all don't do anything. Don't send no threats out. She cannot change the whole wide world. Okay? When people was threatening her and sending text messages to her and sending threats to her house and letters, nobody didn't do shit. Didn't nobody do shit. Nothing. Nada. Okay? She cannot control the world. Okay? Now, one thing she did do, she told people if they was going to protest peacefully. That's what she did do. Okay? But she can't control the world. Okay? She don't know who these people is that's sending these threats and all of that. She don't know who the hell these people is. Like, come on, lady. Let me just shut up.
So it was doing what they needed it to do. And I don't even know if these receipts coming out, if that will even do anything, because some of y'all are so reprobate, so blind by your hate and that grip that y'all won't.
And I think you're a little blind too. I'm just gonna be honest, and no disrespect to you, but I think you're a little blind when it comes to this story too. You know, like I said, I don't know how many children you have. I don't know if you have grown sons or whatever like that. You know, but I do. I have grown sons, and I teach my sons don't trust nobody. I don't give a fuck how long you know. I don't care if you know them for 20 years, because the same motherfuckers you knew for a long time will be the same ones that turn on you. Okay, so come on, let's be real. Hey, Auntie.
Even look past that. But here's what the Bible says, and I'm only going to give you one verse because one is all I need. Let us look at Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. The Lord detests lying lips,
and went in on her.
but he delights in those who tell the truth. Let me translate that for y'all. God's word is very clear. God does not just dislike a lie. He detests a lie. He abhors it. A false.
Yep, you're right. And that's why he knew them goddamn boys is lying. Okay, and that's why Christina discernment kicked in quick. Okay, and she knew that they was lying and they wasn't telling her the truth about her son. You're absolutely right. Okay, yeah, God know they all lying. He does. He know they all are fucking lying. He know that. Yeah, he do. I'm glad you said that.
Narrative, a story told to hurt people, to serve an agenda, that is an abomination to the God that I serve. So clearly, me and those people that was in that picture, we don't serve the same God, because that ain't never
Don't
gonna
worry
happen.
about it, sis. Don't worry about it.
If that was a real pastor and Reverend Al Sharpton was a real reverend, I'm just telling you right now. And the second half is where the hope is, because he delights in those who tell the truth. He doesn't just tolerate the truth teller. Oh no, he takes delight in them. So every time you choose the receipts over the narrative, every time you refuse to repeat a lie just because it feels good, you are walking in the very thing that God delights in. And what does that mean? That God will get justice in this entire thing.
He will. You right. He will, because he know every one of those boys is lying. He know that. Just like he know Mr. Potato Head is a liar and stirred up a lot of mess in this case. Okay. And we know that all the stepmoms and fathers and boat owners, all them is liars too. We know all them is in corrupt together. And we also know the government came out speaking down, and shit like that on Karmelo. All them is in this together. I don't understand why you don't see that. I want to say something else, but I won't.
So here's my verdict, grounded in that verse. The receipts tell the truth. The narrative clearly.
No, they do not tell the truth. Those receipts was a narrative to paint them to look like, again, that they was on Christina's side. They loved Nolan. They was here to help her. Okay. They put those receipts out to make Christina look like a bad person because she didn't text back on that last text thread that he sent her. Come on. Come on, lady. I know. I'm come on. Come on. Come on now. I'm not even stupid to the game. Okay. I wasn't born last night. I see right through this shit. And that's what some people did. Took those text threads and went after Christina. I'm so glad I wasn't born yesterday. And I'm so glad that I got a good discernment. I'm not crazy. I don't miss stuff. And I may miss a little stuff sometime, but God would catch me up really soon. And I would double look.
Didn't. And when the two conflict, and they always do, you and I are called to stand on the truth, not the comfortable version. Yes, we can grieve for that mother, but when lies are being told, we must stand on the truth. I told y'all I want to be there with the family, but I can't be fully there. I can pray for them, not with
No, please
them.
don't pray for them. No, please don't pray for them. I wouldn't want someone like you to even pray for me. Okay, because I don't take everybody prayers. I just don't do that anyway. My mama always told me everybody prayers ain't good. Okay, and I don't think your prayers will be good because you really believe that these boys is innocent and didn't do anything, didn't have nothing to do with it. So I guess you believe their family has been loyalty. They're telling the truth. Well, so tell me, Miss, what do you feel about the calls that came out with Nolan and them was staying on the boat? What do you feel about that? What do you think about that? Do you feel like they was fake too? Because you saying a lot not to say nothing.
And I can hold them to the truth, because as a mother, if I lost my child, I would not allow a narrative and a grift to put other people's children in danger.
No, they put their self in danger. They put their goddamn self in danger when they went on that goddamn island and came back without Nolan, and they thought that this mother just was going to believe what they say. No, they put their self in danger. They put their self in danger, lady, because they didn't know this story was going to go viral and get big and blow up the way it blew up. See, when Christina put that pitch out because she wanted answers about her child, that's when the story blew up. Okay? They put their self in danger. She didn't put him in danger. So you trying to say she put those boys in danger because she wanted answers for her son? I hope you don't have kids. Lord Jesus. Let me stop listening to you anyway because you're pissing me the fuck off. So
and I don't care what any one of y'all say.
You don't have to care what I say because I said what I said and I stand on what the fuck I said.
Oh, don't disparage the mother. I'm not disparaging the mother. I'm telling the truth. I would not allow these race grifters to put.
No, you're no good. let me just get off of your shit, because I can say more, but I try to sometime, y'all, be respectful, you know? But I can go there. Trust me. So let me just, how they said, carry on, Miss D. So y'all, let me go on about my business like my mama told me. So hold on, y'all. Let's go to my man. Let's see. Cause I think Willie D was live, y'all. Cause ooh Lord, y'all, she was really irking me, like literally. Okay, let's go to my man Willie D. Now, y'all, do y'all want me go to the beginning or stay right here? Cause he is live. Cause I think he did have somebody on his panel. Give me a second.
You have to prove premeditation. You have to prove deliberation versus something else that's a lesser included offense. What you have to prove is different. The worst thing that this DA can do is go in here and overcharge and get an indictment for something that he or she, I believe she knows that she can't sustain in front of a jury. Because getting an indictment is one thing, getting a conviction is completely different
All right,
because
let me
of
see what they
reasonable
talking
doubt and the
about.
standard is very different. So people who are upset and frustrated, I understand that. I completely understand that. I always look at cases from both sides, but I'm a defense attorney, right? But I do believe that the issue is not just the theory. Here's the evidence. Here's what we can prove. Here's what we think will make it past a jury. Because
You
otherwise,
welcome, sis.
Nolan's family gets
She
no
said
justice.
thank
If
you.
they overcharge it and they
Pass
can't
that
make
trash.
they can't get a conviction with the jury, he still has no justice. If they undercharge it, that's a completely separate issue because they can always do a superseding indictment. So you may indict on one thing. If more evidence and things come out and it's a higher count, they can always go back and do a superseding indictment. But that's a part of the process.
To your point, you just had me thinking about this other case with David. The singer David, the young man who was he's a singer. I'm a rapper singer. He was accused of killing his underage girlfriend. I think he was like around 19. She was like 14 or something like that. But he's on trial right now. They found her body chopped up in the back of his Tesla truck while he
Oh
was
yeah, I
on
know
tour.
what you're talking about. I remember that.
I'm not familiar with the case. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they found his body. Well, not in the back, but in the front because the trunk is in the front. So in the trunk of his Tesla vehicle while he was on tour, and it took months for them to serve him with an indictment. Months.
It sure
So I
did.
get it, and it looked like from the first time I saw the case, I was like, yeah, he guilty. Like he did that because it was so much circumstances that was leading directly to him. I mean, they first of all they found her body in his trunk, in the trunk of
And
his
then he
vehicle.
banded the car. I
They
remember that case.
they went to they talked to friends who said, hey, he visited the desert. He went out to the desert in the middle of the night for this or that or whatever. Then they found you know pictures, and then they found notes, and you know there was evidence of violence. They was fighting and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, yeah, he did it. He did it. And so right now he's on trial for murder. It took them months to bring an indictment to that, and I know that the parents and the public was really frustrated about that because for a while it seemed like they was just going to let him slide. Looked
Yeah.
like they was just going to let him make it, but it looks like they in there right now and they're trying to finish him off. But who knows? I mean, it's the United States judicial system, and everything ain't always what it seems. Just when you think you got it like this, something else happens. I'm sure you've had cases where you thought that the prosecutor had them, and next thing you know, the defense, turned it all the way around, or the defense looked like they had it, and the prosecutor turned it around, and it came out a different way. That's I guess that's I was about to say the beauty, but like since we be getting
the short end of the stick so much. I can't find anything too beautiful in this judicial system. But I digress. I do thank you for coming on the show. And are there any parting words? Anything that what do we need to know about this case that that you know and that you want to tell us? Because we act like we know what's going on, and I'm sure by you being a legal expert, it frustrates you sometimes when you see people saying certain things about a case like this, and you know that they're way off. What is it? What is the biggest misconception that we have about the legal system? Us
That is
laymen.
quick. I think that is quick. It's
That
not
is
that
okay.
it is quick. That I think because TV sensationalizes the system in such a way that people think, okay, this happened, and now all of a sudden we have a trial. I think the fact that there's been that people think that indictments and investigations should be quick in this digital age, that's just not true. The process to get items, for example, pre indictment is very different than when you have a case number, for example, that you can actually subpoena records. And I think the fact that people are frustrated assuming that what hasn't been done, and you don't know what's been done. Like, we're not entitled to the investigative record. We're not. We're not entitled to know everything that's going on within an investigation. We're not. We're not entitled to set a timeline in terms of for what how quickly a DA indicts. Even in the case that you raised, it took months, even with evidence that seemed to be so easy and let's go ahead and get it done, but it took months. Um, I think that I think people want to have, and they deserve to have some transparency though. I think people want and deserve to have at least some sense that the the process is moving along. I think one of the things that has been problematic, and I said this, is that you had a statement from a law enforcement officer at the very beginning that suggested that it was actually
Girl, somebody just told Willie D in the comments that this is not an attorney that you want on your show. Oh my God.
done on before you even had a medical examiner report. And then we don't hear anything for a couple of weeks. And then we finally know, we hear all of this confusion and chaos over an autopsy. And I think with something that's gained this national attention, what you would expect to see is that at least somebody saying the basic things. There's an investigation. If you have information provided, we're going to make sure that there's no stone left unturned. All of those things haven't happened.
Well, I respect you as being an attorney, but the thing is, baby, come on now, tell the family something. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all know that they cannot say anything because if they're investigating, because we don't know what they're doing. You know, we don't know if they're investigating or not. They could be just saying that to keep the public at ease, to keep the family at ease. We don't really know what they're doing, if they're really doing it, because everybody know how Mississippi is and the things they have done in the past. So we really don't know. But the fact of the matter is, come out and just have a press conference like the other attorney said that been an attorney for 30 something years that I played, the white guy. You know, he even said that the family needs to know something. You know, come out and have a press conference. You don't have to say everything what y'all doing. It's a way you can come out and say it. So yeah, I mean, come on.
So it amps up people because we don't know. But I think the biggest thing I would tell people is the process is not quick. Average homicide trials, even after indictment, take years with an S. That getting information takes months with an S. And so as much as we want to have instant answers, that's just not how the system works. And for me, I think people be calm. We want them to get it right. Everybody say, oh, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. We want them to get it right. Because if we don't, Nolan's story doesn't get told. Nolan doesn't get justice. We don't get the truth. The more the hurry up, does not do his legacy a service. It does his legacy a disservice. And I would
Well, is they really doing something? That's the question. That's the question. Because you really don't know what they're doing either, because you're not an attorney in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? You only coming up there speaking how things go. But every attorney, y'all, that's why I play different attorneys, because every attorney have a different view on Nolan's case. And when it comes to the Karmelo case, right? Every attorney have a view. Now, the guy that I played that was an attorney over 30-something years and a prosecutor and an EMT worker, I love his view when it comes to it. You know, he even feels like Mississippi should have came out by now and said something.
Just ask people to be patient. I would much rather the time be taken for them to get it right than to over indict, and then to get it wrong. We go to trial and he still doesn't get justice.
Girl, somebody asked in a comment, you really think Mississippi working hard? Girl, these comments is crazy.
That's what I was saying.
Man, that is some extremely good information and advice. Okay, I'll keep that in mind going forward.
Girl, I think Willie just saying anything.
That's all I asked. That's all I asked, Willie. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yolanda Trotman in the building. Yes, y'all. Hey, I appreciate you. Hold on now.
Appreciate you.
I want to speak to you off camera.
Sounds good. Bye, y'all.
So let's go in here real quickly and see what y'all saying. See what y'all talking about. Somebody's let's see. What we got? So we got to keep that in mind. That's very that's some strong advice right there, fam. Strong information and advice. Like, you know, it's not quick, and you know, we don't want to try to rush to judgment so fast that.
You're right, Willie, but how long it's gonna take? Like, come on. I mean, I don't know.
You know, you over indict, you overcharge, you over indict, and then next thing you know, the family still don't get.
But the question is, who they trying to indict? Who are they? Who are they? I mean, because these boys, they don't went out and, you know, talk to every damn body. It makes me feel like they know shit that we don't know, meaning they know they're not going to be arrested. So who is they trying to indict? Is it really somebody or is it a ghost?
Get justice. So we want to make sure that it's done right. But, you know, some updates would help, you know, give us a little, throw us a little bone every now and then. Let us know you'll be working on the case.
Thank you.
Because as far as we know, the district attorney then went on vacation. Okay, let's see. EZQ Universe. Quad, what up? Robert, I see you. James R. Azure. Solo Empire. Stay prayed up. Antoine, what it do? What's up with you? Who's that? Talia Matthews. What's up, Talia? Nicole. I see Matt Kinley Webb. Yeah. Let's see. Divinely blessed. Miss Pinky. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining live. Until next time.
Okay, y'all. He probably going to talk to the attorney. Lord child. What in the hell is really going on? Hold on. Y'all, have y'all seen Nancy Grace live? What the hell is Nancy Grace doing over there? Did they scare my girl Nancy Grace away? Lord Jesus, have mercy. I haven't seen Nancy Grace do anything. Okay, y'all, let's... I don't know. Oh, Dolly died? Oh, rest in peace. I know I've been seeing that. Okay, y'all, let's go to this. Let's go.
Because that's where I want to start with this morning. The Nolan Wells family has added a new attorney to their case. And as we had promised, we're going to continue to follow this story. We're going to continue to ask questions and to get answers and to bring you updates on what is going on with this story. So they're adding a new local attorney. He is speaking out. Here's the report.
A metro area attorney is now part of Nolan Wells' family's legal team. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams has more on his role in the case.
Nearly 2 months now since his body was found on Horn Island, and we're no closer to finding out what happened to Nolan Wells. The family has added some new legal firepower with a local attorney joining the legal team.
I think it helps to have somebody local who's, from the soil, somebody that, is kind of familiar with the terrain, with the people.
Jackson criminal defense attorney Ahmad Smith signed on 3 weeks ago. Smith will assist National Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, along with the NAACP Office of Legal Counsel, working on an independent investigation. Many, including Wells' parents, have raised serious questions about how law enforcement authorities on the Gulf Coast are handling the investigation.
They've spoken out publicly often enough to suggest that they have some skepticism about the way that this process is played out.
Wells' body was found washed up on the water 2 days after he and a couple of friends set off on a boat from Ocean Springs to Horn Island on 4th of July. Smith says the cases draw attention from around the world. Some are worried about a cover-up.
There have been instances where Black bodies have been found floating in Mississippi waters in mysterious circumstances. So people naturally harken back to some of that history.
Smith says he spoke with Wells' parents last week during a gathering for what would have been his 19th birthday.
While they're grieving, their disposition to me seems to be one that is hopeful. They're trusting the team that they've amassed.
Smith believes an independent investigation is indispensable because he says you can't always trust the information coming from state prosecutors will be accurate. He says sometimes they may not have the knowledge or the resources. Sometimes they will simply miss something. Reporting from Jackson and Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
All right.
Smith says that they're getting so many tips that they set up this 800 number that you see on your screen specifically for tips and more information in this case.
That was 1-800-991. What was it, 1972? Was that right? Or is it
1772.
1772. Okay. So there is the reporting coming from the local news organization. And now I want to bring in our Washington, D.C. correspondent, Daniel Grimes, who is covering this story this morning for us. Daniel, have you learned any more information? I think it is a smart idea to have a local attorney there, considering the attorneys, Benjamin Crump, whatever, they're not local attorneys, capable attorneys, but not local attorneys.
Yeah. So, Don, hiring a local attorney comes with several benefits. They are on the ground, so they know the characters. Ahmad Smith has been working with local prosecutors and the team there for a while now. So he knows, all of the people in play. He also can actually do things that Ben Crump, as a national attorney, cannot do. He can file petitions in court without needing some sort of ad hoc permission that a national attorney like Ben Crump needs. And also, we all know Ben Crump's schedule is just very busy. He has a lot of cases that he's overseeing right now. And so having that local attorney who can be hyper local and hyper fixated on Nolan Wells' case is going to just be able to help the family get answers sooner.
Yeah. And the last info that we had, and we reported on this, I think it was yesterday or Monday, was that the attorneys for the young men who were with Nolan on Horn Island, they have sent out, their attorneys have sent out a letter of intent to sue the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yes. So they have, they sent Al Sharpton a 19-page notice of intent to file a lawsuit. They are claiming that Sharpton made several defamatory statements against those three men by insinuating that they had something to do with Nolan's death. And in that, they've cited two instances, the vigil that took place on Nolan's birthday, and also the earlier in July, an incident where Al Sharpton said, where is the phone? He gave an interview to TMZ and just kind of questioned why they would have had Nolan's phone. The attorneys for those young men say those statements potentially rose to the level of being defamatory, and they are now saying that Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, needs to apologize and retract those statements, or they will sue him. And as I said on Monday, Don, Al Sharpton says, bring it on, because he knows that if they go into discovery, that there are going to be things they're going to have to release that they haven't released yet, right? When you go into the discovery process in court, you've got to, under oath, tell things, say things, describe the day in detail that, let's just say you're going on a former officer's show that we will not talk about. You can say whatever on that, right? Because you're not under oath. If you go through the discovery process, you are then under oath. You've got to make sure everything you're saying is true, and you're going into detail. So the Reverend Al Sharpton said, bring it on, because you all want to go through discovery. You're going to help us get answers sooner.
So let's talk some politics. That is your bailiwick. You are in Washington, D.C., someone who could, have an office there and a possible residence. We're not sure if it's going to be, maybe it'll be her brother's residence. Maybe she'll move in. We have no idea. But we're talking about Darlene Graham, who's the sister of the late Lindsey Graham, appointed really by Donald Trump, and Republicans approved her taking over the seat on an interim basis until the election. Well, there was an election held last night, at least the primary election between her and another Republican opponent, and she came out the victor even after she had no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah.
At least she had no idea about foreign policy and basically how many people live in South Carolina. She said it was 50 million. It's 5 million. So, but go on.
Just wait, Don, until you hear her answer about universal health care. I think it's worse than her admitting that she did not know about foreign policy when, by the way, we are at war. So if there was ever a time to know about foreign policy, it is right now, when the president that came to South Carolina to support you, right? The president that you support, who you are going to rubber stamp his entire agenda, part of which includes a foreign war that is driving up gas prices that are sitting well above $4 a gallon on average nationally, when, by the way, they were, let me say, below $3, I think $2.98, but in February, before this war started. So you are supporting a president who is escalating tensions with Canada, Don. Canada. Okay. How are you getting a fight with our neighbors to the north? We know that he's already fought with Mexico. So, by the way, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to the 50% tariffs that Canada is threatening to impose after Labor Day because of this president imposing tariffs on Canada.
Just saying, they filed a suit saying, we can't do that. Well, the Supreme Court basically said yesterday or the day before that they had no standing because they are too early. So they have to come back. So it's not a done deal yet, but we know it's what the Trump administration wants to do. And we know what this Supreme Court, the history of this particular Supreme Court is. Okay. So with that in mind, and also the Nolan Wells, I spoke with her. I want to speak with her about that as well. We're going to get to Governor Keisha Lance Bottoms, or gubernatorial candidate, I should say, Keisha Lance Bottoms, right after this word from our sponsor. Gubernatorial candidate in Georgia, I should say, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Thanks for joining us. How's it going? It was election night last night in America in certain parts. We'll talk about your race, but now we have Darlene Graham, who's going to run on the Republican side in South Carolina.
Yeah, the senator who doesn't pay a lot of attention to foreign affairs. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because this administration talks about meritocracy all the time. I want to play, there's a Fox News clip that I'd like to play for you, which was surprising. And I want to see, you may be agreeing with Fox News. I don't know. Here it is.
I just worry that with the Republican Party, we pride ourselves.
I don't want to hear about no politics.
It matters when we show up in primaries. It matters
I
when
thought they was going to talk about Nolan.
Election integrity, you think?
Well, as we moved around the state just this past week, Don, we were deep into counties and areas that Trump carried This is
Right.
what it's all about. This is about
Okay, y'all, because I don't want to hear nothing about no Trump. Yeah. I don't want to hear nothing about no Trump. No, 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 no. Trump is not a fan of me. Mm-mm. I don't like Trump. Hold on. I don't like Trump at all. I don't know what's, I don't know, y'all. Let me see. Let me see, John. Okay, let me see what this about here.
And as an activist, I'm going to show you some of his work as well as his Point, Mississippi. How you doing, Mr. Jackson?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Taylor. How you doing today?
Man, wonderful, man. I thank you so much for joining us tonight. You definitely want to get into some of the situations that are going on right now in Jackson County, but also have went on that a lot of people don't know about. So first, I just want to thank you for giving me the time and the opportunity to bring this issue to forefront and allow you to share some of your in-depth knowledge with the people concerning this town that once again has the country on edge. And for those of you who just want to look at this, man, because I already see some people in the chat. I don't want to hear that scary Negroes. I don't want those scary Negroes. So this is not that. This is not one of those brothers. So let me just show you how he gets down real quick. This is from a snippet that I have done concerning some of his work. Hold on real quick.
In Holloway, and he's on there, and he's singing. So what they want us to do is not listen to what we're hearing, but look at them and we can saying through their lying lips.
Patty Gaston and Carlos Barbosa are appointed by the mayor. Do you all feel like that these individuals should step down at this point?
They should be fired because Patty Gaston is an employee of the city of Ocean Springs. All these people right here, they think for themselves. Think about all the time they gone down the tour. Thinking they came down here, Miss Gaston, and they thinking that she's doing a wonderful job, for them. Only to leave and then find out later on she talking behind their back. So we need somebody down there that not only appreciates your dollar, but they value you as a human. See everybody that's out here. They're all different nationalities. Most one thing that we're all Mississippians. And the one thing about a Mississippian is we're gonna fight anytime that we think something is wrong.
All right, so we can actually start right there. So what was that situation about and where did that situation happen at? Give the people a little bit about what brought the people together that day. This happened in Ocean Springs, right?
Right. That happened in Ocean Springs a little over 2 years, almost 3 years ago. And what brought everybody together during that particular time, the city of Ocean Springs had gotten together actually before Kenny Holloway took office. So what he had done was gotten his own urban renewal group. So they had funding that they had gotten from the BP oil company. They had already picked the people that was going to be on this committee, and they had already went throughout the city of Ocean Springs and had already had somebody come through and pick the homes that they were going to include in this urban renewal area based on blight and slum. Then when he took office, they immediately implemented the plan. So they already had the funding.
Ocean Springs ain't no good.
Actual grant, it was already written up, and they already had their committee already in place. It didn't include anybody of color. And they picked an area which is called a railroad district in Ocean Springs. And most of these people that are in that railroad district, most people don't understand. They were on the south side of Highway 90. But in actuality, they started out on the north side of Highway 90. See, those people were living across the highway. And what happened, they took their property 50 years earlier, or 40 or 50 years earlier.
I want to get into Nolan.
Medical facilities there. The best analogy. Say, for instance, you go downtown, wherever.
Listen.
They just knew that something wasn't right.
I'm trying to get to Nolan.
To really make sure nobody came inside enforcement, and he actually asked them for assistance.
I don't think I want to hear him neither. God damn. God. I haven't seen nothing about Nolan's mother say anything lately. Have y'all seen anything about Nolan mom speaking out on anything, y'all? I don't know where this might lead us, to be honest. I really don't know where anything may lead us right now. TMZ, they've been quiet lately, huh? I ain't heard nothing from them. I think I unfollowed them anyway because I got sick of their lies. Yeah, I think I unfollowed them. I'm trying to find let me see what. I know Nancy Grace, she ain't go live lately. Let me see the night. Oh no, she didn't do anything about Nolan. I think she did something about let me see. I don't know, y'all. I don't know why that they're not doing anything when it comes to Nolan. It's like we not getting no updates for anything, y'all. It's like sometimes we repeat the same thing. We play the same thing because we really don't know. You know, what's going on with Nolan? I mean, I would love to know. Let's see. What was this?
Oh man, cheap out. That ass dirty, baby. Baby, that's some water, let me say. I fall anywhere with a side.
There's a lot of new information going on in this Nolan Wells case, y'all. Did y'all know one of the boys is trying to sell a boat online?
Oh my God.
Who is selling the boat Nolan was on? And this is why I was so mad at the people in Mississippi. Because they are dragging their feet, taking their time. This whole time, you got people out here trying to sell evidence and shit. Not only that, we got the Nolan Wells family. They are hiring an audio engineer. Not saying that there was anything wrong with Janetta Brantley's work. I believe they're just trying to get a record and shut these people up that have been saying the work she put in was falsified. On top of that, J. Megan, the pretty pink panda, just dropped some crazy bombshell, devastating information about another friend group that could be associated with Nolan Wells. Another boat, another relationship, Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this one right here, y'all. But before we start, y'all make sure y'all get them likes up. Y'all make sure y'all hit the hype button and make sure you subscribing to the channel. For those in the back, subscribe to the channel.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. And this is a video that someone sent me as well from our dear brother, Big Kish. Now, he's been covering the case, and there's a lot of information that he puts in the videos. This one is pretty much about the friend group that was allegedly with Nolan Wells. We have the girl, the Nerdy Pink Panther, doing her analysis of, all of the different photos and things that we've seen, still trying to piece together who was in and around Nolan after his death. Now, also, there's a segment in there where the friend Tristan is alleged to have, quote unquote, drawn a line in the sand, and it shows him with a post pretty much siding with the white people,
Lord,
if that's to be taken for what he's saying.
What in the hell?
And also there's talk about, these guys selling a boat. And you'll see the Facebook post where it said Brooke Edmondson, the brother of Bart, is reportedly selling a boat. So I'm going to let y'all listen to this video, and then I'll be back with a little more commentary. Just watch.
Check this out, y'all.
I found them. I found all the people that were on Katie's boat, y'all. Shout out to the real Jada J that turned me on to this picture. And as y'all can see, we've got a match with the necklace and the swimsuit. Think I busted out my glasses and red lipstick just for the swimsuit? Nah. Now, as I talked about yesterday, we've all suspected that this is Kendall for a while now. The identity of this curly-haired girl has always eluded us. Well, not anymore, folks. For now, I'm going to just refer to these girls as T and L. As you can see, L clearly has the same kind of hair texture that's in the bottom of this picture. We know that these two were together on 4th of July, and T did not one, but 2 Nolan tributes after his body was found. Now, another one of their friends had a reel, which they did a little panning video on the best 4th of July ever. And who was in that video? Well, that looks to me to be Jacob, Kendall's longtime boyfriend. So it seems confirmation to me that both Kendall and her boyfriend were on this boat the entire day. Now that I have found this group of friends, I was scouring the pictures and I found this. We've got Elle with somebody I immediately recognized because I remembered that swimsuit, and they tried to hide this picture in a document dump so you didn't know what day it was. Well, if it isn't Nevaeh. Oh, she back!
Wow.
She back! Same swimsuit, same belly ring, and there she is clearly earlier in the day with Kendall, clearly on the same boat. And just in case you didn't see my video on the tube of you yesterday, or just need a reminder, here was the friend group breakdown that I had. But to me, this seemingly clearly confirms that these two were on this boat probably all day. I say this because there's another picture from the summer with Nevaeh with the little pink cup right here. You can see the pink cup in the lap of Kendall up here, along with the matching, poles and this, all of it matches. Now I want to go back to this picture because in the background there, we see somebody seemingly approaching the group to join them to go out in red shorts. And y'all know that I've been saying for a while that in my humble opinion, I believe that the person in red shorts is Warren's brother. But now I also think there's a strong possibility that it could be Lainey's boyfriend, Drew. Just as further confirmation, these glasses match the glasses that are in the Katie Snapchat. I think it's pretty safe to say that we definitely found the people that were on the boat with Katie. Now here's where it gets a little interesting to me though. Look at how late in the day this picture seems to be taken. And they clearly were still out at night. So did they drop everybody else off? Did they come back out? Got a lot of unknowns here, but I did my social media scour. And let me explain to you what I found. So we've got L and T on the boat with Kendall and Nevaeh, like we've confirmed that. We also know at some point Katie was on the boat with them as well. T was the only one that seemed to be connected to Nolan on social media. Now, remember how the person who released the Snapchat pictures of Katie said that they were not friends with her? Well, I found that T was actually connected to a lot of people social media-wise, whether they were following her or she was following them. I was able to find Javon. I was able to find Ava D, the girl from the party. I was able to find the entire Hudson family, as well as Katie, Lainey, Trin, Ava, all of the other friend group, the core group that I talked about yesterday. And I found out that L was either following or was followed by Ava, Jax, and Bart. Now here's the real kicker. When I went to T's Book of Face page, I found out that she was FB friends with not only Warren's mom, but Bart's mom as well, and several other adults that are close friends with that mom group. And I also found out that Lainey and Nevaeh are.
That's why I told y'all. That's why I said, what do y'all think about this case? There's too many people that knew each other. A lot of them knew each other on their land. They knew each other. All of them was friends. None of them was friends to Nolan, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. None of them was friends to Nolan. We see what all this is happening. They did not love Nolan like they say they did. They did not like Nolan. It was none of that. Because if you like someone, even if you don't love them, but you like them, you're gonna tell at least the truth. You're gonna give the family at least something. I don't really mess with them like that, but this is sad. Let me, just tell the family the truth about what really happened to their child. They did not love Nolan. They didn't like Nolan. And I'm sorry, maybe Christina didn't see a lot of this stuff because she didn't know a lot of these people. And that's what I'm getting at. Christina did not know a lot of people that Nolan knew. Nolan was around, and then some of these people Nolan probably didn't know. He knew them through maybe Warren and, Bark and all of them, But we can see that it wasn't like the way they say it was. And when they say that Mississippi stick together, yeah, they do. With their own people, okay? Not with our people. With their own people, they stick together, okay? Because I'm getting tired of people saying that, oh, yeah, we stick together. Yeah, with your own fucking people, y'all do. Not with us black people. No, you don't. Because if you did, y'all will come forward and tell this lady what really happened to her son. If you know something and if you're seeing something, whatever the case may be. And again, you see, ain't nobody came forward for that money, right? Nobody came forward for that money. Now, we already know that our people, it was not going to come forward for the money because we didn't have a lot of our people out there on the island that day of the 4th of July. It was their people out there. So that's why they didn't come forward yet to get that money because they stick together. And we know they wasn't going to come forward anyway when it came to Warren daddy putting the money out there. We know that. That was just a show, a stuff off, to make people think, his family is so great. They loved it, Nolan. They stuck by Nolan. They want justice for Nolan. No, all that was just for the public eye as a stuff off.
Both friends with the older McGrath brother, but it seems like he was in Texas at the time, so most likely he was not on the boat or around for this. However, he does have a younger brother who is friends with T on social media. And that makes me wonder if the younger McGrath brother might have been on that boat. Now remember, Lainey said that she was not on Horn Island. She was with a different group of friends on a different island altogether. But now I'm wondering if this boat, this group, might have been the other group that they got into the altercation with. Because remember, they specifically said that they knew the guy, knew of him, but they weren't friends with him. Because does nobody else think it's weird that whoever else they were fighting on the beach hasn't come forward, especially if they were people that didn't really know
them? Come on, y'all. How many times I done said that? I'm not even going to say it no more. How many times I said that? Where was the people that was fighting? Where were they? Why they haven't came out and said, I'm the one that had to fight. I was fighting. Okay? Where is the people that Nolan's supposed to have stayed back with? Where is those people? Why they haven't came forward and said, yeah, Nolan stayed back with us, but nothing happened to him when he stayed back with us? Whatever the situation may be, because it's nobody. It's nobody. Nolan didn't stay back. It wasn't nobody. It's all a lie. That's all it is. It's all a lie.
These people, but could this boat have been the 4th boat that we've seen? Because if this is the same red shorts guy, then how did he get onto the other boat?
Now, from previous videos, we all know Nolan was a peacemaker. What if he was trying to make peace from a fight and his friends didn't like that?
Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't really follow everything that she's saying. I'm just going to be completely honest. It's a lot of, once again, speculation with all of these videos that are out. But what we do know is that there is a protected class of white people in that town, and it seems that they are being protected and buffered through investigation and scrutiny throughout this whole Nolan Wells situation. But shout out to Nerdy Pink Panda. She's doing the deep dive. She said, well, I thought it was this guy in the red shorts, but then now it may be this guy in the red shorts. So, we're kind of, once again, kind of spinning our wheels and turning our heels with the situation, trying to find out the truth, which we shouldn't have to do because they should be forthright and tell us what happened. So this next, I guess, insert is about a statement made by Judge Ashley Cole. Now, they said it's from 8/23, but she made this statement a while back, but we'll listen to that as well and go on the video.
Cole has made a second statement on Facebook. Now, Ashley Cole is the stepmama of one of them boys on the boat. I think Warren Hudson is his name. They see. They're watching. They know Nolan's parents are not playing. We have decided that we will not be speaking to the press at this time. The media is not the appropriate forum to further elaborate on the facts of July 4th, 2026. We realize that the truth will not stop the cause for the death of our small children. We have not had the opportunity to speak to the Wells-Wansley family or their attorney. However, we are willing to directly communicate with Attorney Ben Crump and the Wells-Wansley family. We will provide them with all the proper information.
Well, I don't think y'all did shit. It don't seem like to me y'all providing it with nothing. It don't seem like to me y'all talking to them, y'all giving them no updates, nothing. Now, I don't know. Maybe Christina got an update. She just ain't talking. I don't know. Because we on the outside trying to look in on the inside to see what's going on. So I really don't know what the hell is going on here. I know after a while, it's not going to be too much to talk about with this case because it's like you'll be repeating yourself after a while because there's no updates there. You know what I'm saying? It's just no updates. It's like, things I click on, it's like people going to be saying the same thing they were saying when it first happened because it's no updates. And that's how a lot of cases end up going cold.
Known to us so their family can rest and properly mourn. We also want to know what happened to Nolan. We will do everything within our power to assist Nolan's family in their quest for answers. If you go to Facebook and you search her name, you can see the original post. And attached to it, she has some screenshots of her inbox and some video messages that are very disturbing. Go take a look for yourselves.
So it looks like Trayson out here running his mouth. You say he done chose a side.
So we're choosing sides now? I'm so confused. Drew a line in the sand and chose a side. What side did you choose? You left out that part. Come back and let us know what side you chose. At this point, why would you say that?
Drew a line in the sand and chose a side. I don't know what side you chose, bruh, but ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Right. And then sis, you got to understand too, like being that they do got their own attorneys and stuff like that, shit, the attorneys can't even say much if they don't know what to go on. They're sitting back waiting for an update just like we are, just like probably the family are, because it ain't too much they can update with the public neither if they're not getting anything from Mississippi. What can they update? It ain't too much they can update neither. And again, that's how cases, get cold. A lot of people, content creators, they'll move on to other stuff. They'll stop talking about it because they feel like it's no updates. What can they talk about? They don't put everything out. They can put out. They don't say everything they can say. It's nothing else to be said if you're not getting an update. So that's why, if you notice, you have seen a lot of content creators. They has been moving on now to different stories now. Now, if content creators see something come out, update, they'll come back and, spin the block. But, as a content creator, they have to keep moving with their content. If it's nothing, out that they can really talk about because they'll be at a standstill, and in this case, that's what I see what's going on because there's no updates, it's no nothing, and ain't no telling. They keep saying, it can be months from now. And then I don't know if y'all know, but Mississippi is not like every state. The prosecutor, they only do grand juries once every other month. Y'all, I never knew that and I never heard of that. That was new to me when I heard about it. And 2 people done said that already. And I was like, wow, really? Now I know here where I live at, they don't do that. You do a crime here, the prosecutor's always on deck every day, all day. Okay. So maybe that's the way Mississippi is, but like I said, I never heard of that. That's crazy work right there. So somebody was saying that they don't come back, I think until September, so I don't know, y'all. That I don't know. It's crazy.
Brooks Edmiston is selling a boat, y'all.
Yeah, why
when
they sell
was
the boat
a
if it's
Boston
true?
Whaler ever mentioned?
That's crazy.
Who was on that boat? It's the boat B was driving allegedly. Bombshell, y'all. Yes, a 1988 Boston Whaler is one of the boats mentioned in the timeline and independent investigative report surrounding the Nolan Wells case. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Being as though that these people are dragging their damn feet out there, which is allowed.
Yeah, that could be true too. That could be what they want. In a lot of cases like that, any popular case that comes out, and it get nation attention like that, and they do want that. I have covered many cases like that. Like the Ashley case I covered. I had to stop talking about it, y'all, because I wasn't getting no updates. I can't keep going in circles. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, now I like the way Christina was doing. Christina was, updating, much as she can, about Nolan birthday. She was doing that kind of stuff. Now Ashley mom on the other side, in open book can tell you, we covered that case. She wasn't putting out nothing. She wasn't saying nothing. She didn't even allow no one into the funeral. None of that. Like we didn't get any of that. So me personally, myself, I gave up on the case. I didn't discuss the case anymore. It felt like, what can I cover? I can't sit here and squeeze something out of a lemon and there's nothing there. So me and Open Book, we stopped covering the case. And a lot of people did. A lot of people, I know Queen Sheba was covering that case. Who else? It was a couple of people that covered that case and we just stopped covering it because there was nothing else to talk about. It was nothing else. And I know exactly they wanted us to do that. But as a content creator, you can't keep staying on one case and there's nothing there left to talk about. Everything done died down. It went dry. That's not what we want to do, but it comes to that sometimes. It does come to that. And I'm kind of saying that's what it's going to be with this case, because we're not getting no updates. And I'm a type of person, I can't speak for every content creator. I'm a type of person, I can't keep covering a case with nothing to go on because I'm not going to come out here and lie to y'all just to get views. You know what I'm saying? And just to get people in my chat. I'm not going to come out here and just, oh my God, y'all, listen what I heard, this and this. I'm not that type of person. Now, you got some people will do it because some people are afraid to lose supporters. I'm not scared to lose nobody because I feel like this. I done lost many, many, many supporters over the time that I was doing cases. If they stay, they stay. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is. But I'm not going to come out here and put out fake information just to keep supporters.
Allowing these people time to allegedly cover up evidence. Why the hell is they letting them sell a damn boat at this time, y'all? Right. Why aren't they being investigated? Right. This shit is really pissing me off, bro. Now, I want y'all to play close attention to this next clip because you got people saying that it's the police that's doing these unalivings out there in Mississippi, y'all. Check this out.
Since March of last year, 17 months, there's been 24 African Americans, as of today, 24 African Americans found hanging from trees across the United States of America. Just this past week alone, there's been at least 2 cases. You understand? And in case after case after case, the local coroners very predictably declared these as without any serious forensic investigation taking place at all. No follow-up. You understand me? Not to mention the Nolan Wells case from the 4th of July, when he went out with those 4 or 5 white kids in Mississippi. They came back and he didn't come back. You understand? And all those white boys, they're the sons of the local power structure. That's who they are. They shrug their shoulders. Their parents shrug their shoulders. The police shrug their shoulders. The judges, the media, the power structure, everybody shrugs their shoulders about what could have possibly happened to Nolan Wells. It's a mystery, which makes it no mystery at all. Which makes it no mystery at all. But see, they'll gaslight you into thinking that you're being overly suspicious. You're being overly cynical. And the problem is that you want answers, not that they don't have any answers. The problem is that you want the answers that they don't have, which is just a way to try to make you accept that same unspoken answer that Black communities in Mississippi and throughout the South and throughout the United States always got. You understand me? About Nolan Wells and about the other 24 African Americans found dangling from tree branches across that country. Never mind that Black Americans are demographically the population that is absolutely the least likely group of people to ever commit by hanging themselves. That's documented. That's not an opinion. So when a method that is statistically rare for this specific population, when that shows up again and again and again in public spaces, in trees, outside of schools, outside of homes, and it gets closed without any comprehensive investigation whatsoever, without any real forensic follow-through, well, everybody knows what's going on. Everybody understands what's going on. Listen, 24 in 17 months, that is roughly equivalent to the rate of lynchings in America during the 1920s. You understand me? No, when a Black person is found hanging from a tree in the United States of America, the default assumption of investigators should always be lynching. It's like if a woman turns up dead, the first thing that you're going to do is suspect the husband or suspect her ex, right?
Facts.
You start with a presumption of foul play. You start with a presumption of homicide. You start with a presumption of foul play, which is exactly what you should do in every single one of these cases. If you find
and what he mean, you're the last person with this person, you're going to be the suspect for now until we can rule you out. And he's right. It's the same way if something happened to a spouse. They're gonna interrogate that spouse until they can't no more. And if they feel like they didn't have nothing to do with it, they ruled them out, they're going along somewhere else. And that's what he's saying. That's what they should have did in this Nolan case. All those people should have been suspects, especially the ones that he went with, that he was on that boat with, and that's them boys. Maybe not the whole island, but those boys. That boat should have been taken from day one. Those phones should have been taken from day one. Okay? Once for the phone, once for the boat. Okay? Once for those CTO calls, everything. Okay? I think a lot of stuff has been covered up here. A lot of stuff has been covered up. You know? A lot of stuff.
A Black person hanging from a tree in America, you should treat it the same as if you see someone who's been double tapped in the back of the head. And if you do rule it as the moment that you zip up the body bag, why, we have every reason to believe that you're the one who did it. Yes, and you're going to have to prove otherwise. I'm telling you, if you rule something like that, that ruling is in and of itself incriminating evidence against you. You can't tell anyone, you can't tell any serious intelligent person that there's no evidence of foul play. No. If an African American is hanging from a tree in the United States of America, that is the evidence of foul play by default. You might as well say that Jay killed himself before you say that a Black man or a Black woman strung themselves up in Mississippi and expect anyone to believe you. And if you say they did that, then we need to search your property for ropes. You understand? Especially when you claim it's a before you've even cut them down from the tree.
So people are saying.
All right, so I'm just going to stop it right there.
Wow.
Because that was a mic drop moment. Not even concerning the Nolan Wells case. I don't know what nationality that man is. I've seen him before, but he said many of the things that I've echoed right here on this channel. That when you find someone in a suspicious circumstance, especially black people hanging like that, you automatically start from the top and then you work your way down from the bottom. You don't automatically, well, this is what it is. And then you don't research it further. And as I mentioned on a few videos, the cops, in my opinion, are doing the hanging. Somebody mentioned the KKK. Well, they are one and the same. And so even with the Nolan Wells situation, you have the power structure. I broke down that power structure from the parents of those people, their connections to the governor, their connections to the mayor, their connections to high societies, as well as the law enforcement. So,
and that's what I was saying, y'all. Them boys are connected to a lot of high power people. They are, all of those boys. Yeah, they are. And Jovan and his brother, I don't blame the mother from keeping them away. I don't think that mother would never, ever have her children to be around them again. And I hope she protect her kids the best she can when it, with everything when it comes to those boys. Don't let her boys communicate with them at all. At all. Because those boys ain't good for nobody.
So the man said, okay, the kids shrug their shoulders, the parents shrug their shoulders, everybody shrugs their shoulders, and it's just, once again, history repeating itself, whether it's Nolan Wells, whether it's our brother Timothy Sutton, whether it's our brother Derek Moore in that same area who have went missing and nobody knows the thing. It has to be law enforcement because those are the people who can make things go away or make things go unnoticed. So once again, there's a belief that, one of the brothers, the Edmonston brothers, is selling a boat. And once again, if he's able to sell a boat, and they showed, okay, well, one of the boats were the same kind of boat that they're selling, then that's obvious that, it's a way to get rid of evidence.
Yeah, because why are they selling the boat? Why? Come on, y'all. Why is they selling this boat? If they feel them boys was going to jail or they did something, they would not let them boys sell that boat. That boat would have been kept, fingerprinted, photos, and they would have kept that boat until the investigation was over, trial started, all of that. That boat would have never been able to be put up for no sale. I'm telling y'all, these boys know they're not going to jail. They know that. They know that already. Okay, and they probably saying to themselves, yeah, let them keep talking, we going to jail. We ain't going to jail, even though God know what they did, and listen, I mean, this is sad, and this is sad for the family, meaning his siblings and his mom and dad. This is sad that they're allowed to do so much that they are doing.
And they are being allowed to, because everything should be in question. If there is a death investigation, death investigation that is supposedly go to the grand jury, then that means everything needs to be preserved. All boats, all phone records, all this, all that, all property. So all of those things are part of the cover. Okay, we got to get rid of this. Oh, where's the boat? I sold it. I don't know who I sold it to. And so if that boat had some kind of evidence of anything wrongdoing concerning Nolan, it should definitely, the sale of the boat should stop. But if the law enforcement, your mother, and the investigators are telling you to sell the boat, then of course they're not going to stop you from selling the boat. Y'all let me know what y'all think, about this video in the comments.
And not only that, they ain't gonna stop from selling the goddamn boat if they know they ain't going to jail anyhow. Okay, so let's make that clear. That's why they ain't gonna stop from selling the boat, because them damn fools know they ain't going nowhere. That's why. That they're not gonna stop them from selling the boat. You think these people don't see this stuff going on this internet? They see it. You think they don't see that this boy got a boat up for sale? They see it. Of course they see it. They see everything. They might try to act like they don't, but they see it. Let me see. Oof. Sad, y'all. Sad. It's even hard to find like videos and commentary on this now, because like I said, a lot of people done moved on with other stuff, so it's hard for me to even pull up stuff like I used to can pull up stuff, because like he done moved on and did a lot of stuff too. I ain't even seen Nancy Grace really say anything. I haven't seen Nancy Grace say nothing in a while. I don't know. I was thinking she had got her the cease and desist, y'all. I don't know. Let me see what he said. He's talking about this. Yep, he been doing other videos too. So let me see. All right, he did this one a day ago. I think this is the latest one that he did too. All right, let me see what he said on this one right here.
And their lawyer, Little Eddie and Little Tyler, want you to think that they are suing Al Sharpton. Little Eddie and Little Tyler are not suing Al Sharpton. These two lawyers are frauds and grifters. And I am going to tell you exactly what they are up to. And when I am done exposing the two fraud lawyers, I'm going to show you a new photo that was allegedly taken July the 4th during the CETO call. I also have an update on Nolan's phone. I would like to remind you that both deadlines, Christine's and the DA's, have passed. There has been some very significant developments in the Nolan Xavier Wells case in the past 48 hours. Sit back, relax. I'll tell you everything you need to know, and then I'll hand it off to you, the Out Louders. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Massive exclusive. Al Sharpton to be served with a 19-page pre-document defamation demand. Attorneys call him a human circus and throw his own words back.
Hold on, let me just see what she said. I was on a content creator page and she had a lot of videos from the parents on the 4th of July. What, Nolan and them parents? I wish someone in Nolan's family can get that boat. Yes, sis. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yes. I pray Nolan and his family get justice for real. Me too. But y'all, as a content creator, I've been doing this for a long time. I feel this case is gonna go cold. I feel, and when I say go cold, I mean like the content creators. That's what I mean when I say that. That they're gonna move on to other content. I mean, because to be honest and respectfully, they have to keep their content going. They can't, just stay on one thing forever. They have to keep their content going, because a lot of these content creators, you got to remember, they get paid for what they do. I don't get paid for what I do. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them, they get paid for what they do, so they got to keep their content rolling. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they make their money on YouTube. So respectfully, I respect them. So that's why I be looking for stuff at night now, and I just don't see a lot. I don't see a lot the things that I do see, I already, bring it to y'all. But I'm saying like updates, I really don't see anything. But sis, can you let me know who that is? If you can let me know in the chat. Because I don't play everybody, but some people I will play. Let's see. Family, we have to teach. Let me see. Hold on. That's not showing. Ugh. Oh, hold on, y'all. My battery is getting low. Hold on. I got to charge my laptop. Give me a second. I was wondering why my laptop was getting dark on me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because I would be mad if it goes dead on me. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second here so I can charge it. I was wondering why my laptop was looking dark. And it just popped up. Low battery. Okay, so let me get this. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. I'll do the best I can, y'all. That's all I can do. That's all God wants me to do. Is my best. Family, we have to teach our children better. Don't believe everything that they tell you. Yeah, that is so true. So true. No, it was the adult on the boat on the island, the lady. Oh, is she on YouTube? He was cleaning up the. Hold on, y'all. Oh shoot, wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. All right, let me hold on, sis. I want to screenshot and see can I find it. All right. I can see can I find it when I get off. Okay. Got it. It's just I don't know, y'all. It's just so sad. So sad. So let's finish with
Get him. You asked for it. Now you got it. Some of you may have seen this Twitter post circulating around Friday or over the weekend from Sarah Fields. For those of you who don't know who Sarah Fields is the new talking mouthpiece for the alt-right MAGA movement, replacing Officer Tatum. I think like he's been benched. This is just all ridiculousness. Massive exclusive. Give me a break. Y'all are in cohorts talking. You didn't like get any sort of massive breaking news, okay? You'll see now that she put underneath here the thread that I'm going to show you where it comes from. I have exclusively obtained a brutal 19-page pre-suit defamation demand dated today, August the 21st, 2026, from attorneys Edward, Andrew, and well, we call them here Little Eddie and Little Tyler on behalf of Warren, Jax, and Morgan. Now, let me show you what else happened. Here is Little Eddie's tweet. We are serving Al Sharpton with a powerhouse and urgently necessary 19-page pre-suit demand letter. Basically, in other words, it's a letter. It means absolutely nothing, but hold up, let me cook. Together with my colleague and friend, Little Tyler, I will hold accountable to the maximum extent of the law all individuals who defame completely innocent young men, Warren, Jax, and Morgan. We will restore their good names with.
You know, some people may do that, move on fast, but some content creators, like I said, you know, they move on with their content. They can't stay stuck on one thing. I respect that, you know, because that's what it is as a content creator. You know, when a big story come out that's trending, you know, they stay on it. Once it start to die down, they have nothing else, no more evidence on it, no nothing to talk about. You know, I think respectfully, they just move on. If something else come up with that story, they will come back out. This is an update. Y'all remember this story? Because I did that a couple of times, you know. I left a story and came back to it because it came back out again. You know, if y'all can, I don't know if y'all remember that story with the girl Lulu. I came back with that story again. Then it died down, and it's still like the family didn't get no justice for him. But that was a long story with that story too. But I know some new videos did come out about that story recently that a content creator had dropped. You know, she came back to the story because some new evidence came back out and she dropped it. But, you know, some content creators, they will do that. They will just move on. I don't think they like want to, but I think they have to keep their commentary going. You know what I'm saying? And pick up something that's trending. You know, that's what that's the name of the game in the field, y'all. That's what they do. That's what they do. You know, um, y'all see how Karmelo case had died down after he got sentenced? It died down, right? It came back. It sparred back up because they had it was more evidence. It gave people commentary again. So they came back with the story again. Now, after a while, if there don't be no more evidence come back out, like with his dream team saying, okay, we put in for this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, it may die down. So yeah, that's how it be sometimes. I mean, sometimes I know people don't like that, but sometimes that's the way it be. It be like that, you know. And it's some stories that I did want to pick up, but then one story I didn't because I don't like drama stories. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like drama stories. I don't like all that drama in my comments and all of that. So I don't really like stories like that when it comes to drama. I don't like that. Drama don't sit well with me, so I don't like it. I like stories like this because I like to give family a voice, with their loved ones. I like stuff like that. But all that drama stories, I don't know. That's why they never pick up that story. I don't like the drama.
Oh, bias, fear, or hesitation for all the give, send, go money. He's acting like, oh, this is my friends I'm sending up, bro. You're getting paid like crazy for this, okay? From Warren's father, who's a doctor, and their mom, the give, send, go, and whatever money is being funneled in by MAGA and all of this crap, okay? It's just ridiculous. Anyways, you'll see here that he retweeted Sarah Fields. And then, of course, the internet picked it up, and then you saw a post like this. Al Sharpton's face plastered right beside the beginning of the demand letter. And for my daily listeners, you know that we are not going to read anything of this pre-lawsuit demand letter because that's exactly what they want us to do. But before I even get back to the letter, because I do have it, I took out like 6 or 7 pages. I'm going to show you just to show you really what they're up to. But let me show you first and read to you the real things that we should be concerned about, and that's Al Sharpton's response. You'll see.
Now, it is a story trending. I can't think of the name of the couple. It is. As a matter of fact, it's 2 stories trending, and I like talking about domestic violence stories too. I told y'all before that's how I built my platform off domestic violence because of my domestic violence. So when I see stories like that too, I like to pick up on stories like that, and it is a big story is trending of this guy that was in a domestic violence dispute with his wife. And he was married to a woman in Africa and married to a woman out here. And I think they're from Atlanta. They got a big house together. She was married to him for 8 years. She had like 4 kids by him. I never know she was being abused by him, but I always felt something was off with that relationship. Because he was paying her every time she had a child, and she finally broke her silence and saying he was beating on her. He knocked her teeth out. So that is a story that I did want to cover too. Yeah, she's been getting a lot of support from people on Facebook, Instagram. They are big content creators. Oh Lord. So I've been really looking into that story and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all know about that story, but that's a real life story right there too. I mean, you got content creators all on Instagram. They coming after him, baby. They is females too. They really coming after him. I always felt like something was off with him because the way he's a down man and talk. I mean, this really down men. Like I don't know. I just felt like something was off with him, and come to find out, he was abusing his wife the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Al Sharpton literally like within 1 hour of this coming out, you'll see here it says Al Sharpton's response to potential litigation against him in the Nolan Wells case. New York, August 21st, 2026. I welcome the lawsuit, and I have had my attorneys be in touch with theirs to arrange for them to.
Sis, no, I think he's Black America, but the wife he's married to. The first wife lived in Africa. She owned a big mansion in Africa, and she owned a trucking company or something like that. But they said, he was into the poly thing, girl. And, she knew it. Now, listen, I don't know if she was legally married to him over here because he was legally married over there in Africa. So I don't know about that. But she did wear a wedding ring. So they was together for 8 years. So I'm assuming that they was married. Now, his wife in Africa, I don't know if he had children by her because nothing has been spoken about her, only that he takes care of her. He pays all the bills over there. She have her own business over there. It's a lot to the story. It's a lot. Like, yeah, it's a lot to that story. He pays his wife like, yes, yes, sis, yes. My friend was just telling me about that because she really liked them. Yes, I did too. But now I don't like him. Yeah. So y'all do know about that story. Okay. It goes to show you cannot believe everything people post. Facts. 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 Mm-hmm. I just followed him and then I unfollowed him when I found out. Yeah. And but you know what? I kind of like when people stop posting stuff, sometimes I be like, well, damn, wonder what happened to them. Right? Because they did stop posting. Both of them. Right? And then she started reposting again. And that's when she came out with her story. Because you see, he gave her a black eye and everything. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So she's coming out a lot, posting a little different stuff. And I did join her group. For more of updates and stuff like that. She inboxed me and invited me to her group. Yeah. And if you notice, if you followed her, she has been going to the shooting range. And I picked up on that. I picked up if you fuck with me, it is what it is. I'm gonna protect myself. I picked up on that. She has been going to the gun range. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you never know when people going through it behind closed doors. You really don't know. And I never knew he knocked her teeth out. We didn't know that. These is things that was going on behind the scenes that we didn't know. She just now coming forward talking about it. So what happened was yesterday, the guy that she went to, the dental guy that she went to get her teeth fixed, everybody came for him in his inbox. So he came publicly to let people know. Because people was accusing him that he knew of the domestic violence. And he said, no, 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 no. So he came publicly yesterday and did a video and said, no, he never knew of the domestic violence. He did not condone to domestic violence. He did know her very well. He did not know. She never shared anything with him. He just started knowing about it like everybody else knowing about it. Because he said he was getting so many inboxes that people were saying mean things to him, which I don't know why people would say mean things to him. Sometimes people don't know what's going on in people's household because he fixed her teeth. I guess people thought that he knew about domestic violence. He did not know about it. Maybe she did not. Maybe she told him about the teeth and she could have told him a different story about what really took place with her teeth because the man said he didn't know. But she did comment in his comment section and was telling people that he did not know anything about it and they were good friends and, stuff like that. And he did wish her well. And he did say anything you need, you want to talk to me about it, you can feel free and reach out to me. So, yeah. Hey, niece, I'm making it back home. Okay, auntie. Were he getting all the money? That's what I want to know, sis. Because she built her own brand, right? Y'all, it's a lot we can talk about. So what we can do, maybe I can do that story tomorrow and we can talk about it because I do see a lot of y'all in here that do know about that story. But he lived 2 different lives. Yes, sis. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad I never got into him. I I did get into both of them because I liked them as a couple. But I just felt something was off and I never could put my hands on it. And I didn't want to speculate. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the way he downed at men all the time. That kind of like threw me off. He did have his own brand too. If y'all can remember, he sold his own product. Okay. It was another content creator. I was in her comment section talking to her because she was saying things. And I was like, no, she already admitted. Because the content creator was saying, oh my God, I hope it's not true. He beat her. And I was like, yes, it's true. And she was like, D, what was he saying? And I was telling her in the comments that she was communicating with me because she have been supporting him for a long time. She was buying all his stuff, everything from him. And she is a big content creator. She's very well known, but she don't like abuse. She's very against a man beating on a woman. She's very against that. So yeah. I have to catch the replay. Okay, Auntie, no problem. It's no problem. I was disappointed. I was too, sis. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. I ain't gonna lie. But I do see some content creators is picking up on that story. I see a lot of content creators is picking up on that story. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they was coming after the Dennis man, baby. I mean, they was riding him for filth, you know. And I felt bad for him. I did, because I'm like, damn, why y'all coming at him? He might did not even know about it, and come to find out he didn't. He never knew she was being abused. He only did what he got paid for, and that's to fix her teeth. He never knew that the husband did it. He didn't know that. He was in the dark also, you know? So it's crazy, y'all. Let's get back to this. It is crazy. And that is a trending story. A lot of people is talking about it.
Serve me so that we can get it in court. Okay.
Hey, Brittany.
I convened a prayer visual on what would have been Nolan's 19th birthday, and 3 of the young men joined the Zoom, and I asked them to come forward. While I did not know their names, so I did not defame them, we have the right and duty to raise questions that were raised to me by Nolan's parents. From the onset of this case, I publicly stated that I welcome any litigation that would legally require every person that was with Nolan Wells before his passing to be forced to answer questions under oath. Litigation requires deposition, discovery, and complete examination of the facts. That is what's most important here, okay? But hold up. I have been involved in the case for one sole reason: to help Nolan's parents, Christine and Elmore, find the truth in what happened to their beloved son through a transparent and accountable investigation. If a lawsuit is a catalyst for the truth, then it is welcome, and it will not deter National Action Network or me from continuing to stand with the family in their pursuit for justice. Okay, let me get to the letter and show you guys a couple of things. Now, as promised, I always do my due diligence and show you guys each side. If you guys would like to pause and read for yourself, please, by all means, go ahead. But I am not going to be used by Little Eddie and Little Tyler to get out their message.
He gave them some crazy
names. This is exactly what they want content creators to do. This is exactly also why they put it out Friday afternoon when any major news organization is done for the weekend. They want to get content creators to read this out to taint the jury pool. This has not been seen by a judge, hasn't been put in front of a judge. There's no case number. There is nothing. Their own words say pre-lawsuit. You could say whatever you want and title a letter whatever you want. It does not make it anything official. This is a piece of paper with words on it. That's all it is, and a signature. Because there's a letterhead and because y'all are lawyers, it means nothing. It's literally chicken scratches. Literally, like a kindergartner could have just typed the blah, 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 and signed it. That's exactly what it is. Now, the details of the letter is them presenting their case. It's a way for them to get out their narrative of what happened without having to follow any sort of legal jurisdiction or any sort of rules. Because There's no metadata. There's no proof. There's no nothing. So you're going to see pictures in here, and you're going to see narratives that you could read if you would like. But it's literally them saying Morgan, Jax, and Warren are innocent. They didn't do anything. They didn't tamper with the phone. They wouldn't do this or whatever. Yeah, that's easy to say in a letter, not as easy to say in the court of law when you're under oath. You see what they're doing here? So for them to get this out, this is the new way how to taint the jury pool. It's 2026. Everybody gets their news from TikTok, Instagrammers, YouTubers, etc. So this is what they're doing. They want us to sit down and be like, hey, we got this damning lawsuit, massive exclusive. Oh my gosh. And YouTubers stuff will sit down and read it and read all of that stuff to you. And whether you believe it or not, it goes back in your like mental Rolodex. And not every single person is overly invested in knowing the truth. Most people see headlines. They're like, oh my gosh, they sued Al Sharpton. No, it is a pre-demand letter that if Al doesn't do certain things, he is going to be sued for defamation. He answered you guys back 1 hour later that was like, I am doing nothing. Let's go to court right now. That's why I didn't rush to do this. It's been 48 hours. Where's the lawsuit, bro? Come on, like, what are you talking about?
I agree.
You told him that you wanted demands. He answered you within an hour, and he's like, bring it. And it's been 48 hours and you haven't brought it. And don't tell me it was because it was the weekend, all right? Because it's midday Monday. If you guys are really about that life, you would have brought it already. But you won't. Because like Al said, is that you don't want to be deposed. You don't want to sit down, and you don't want to say these things in this letter under oath, because it is a very drastic difference, things that you could say on a piece of paper than sitting down in a courtroom in front of a judge that can and will be used against you in the court of law. Okay? All right. So couple of things also, like I made some calls, you know what I'm saying? Some people in some camps that we know that may be involved in here says, this is nothing but a piece of paper. No one cares. This is not a legal document, not filed in court. No judge has seen this. This is a piece of paper with words on it, etc., etc., etc. Nobody in the camp, in any camps, are afraid of little Eddie or little Tyler. I can guarantee you that unequivocally. Nobody, and I'm not going to name names. Just y'all know the camp that, you know, I like to say that I'm the mouthpiece for. No one is afraid of you over here, bro. Nobody.
But he telling the truth.
Only thing that you have been doing since we heard of little Eddie and little Tyler is talking on Chris Cuomo, talking on Nancy Grace, talking with Officer Tatum. Notice something. Every time I talk to you about the opposition, all they're doing is running their mouth, sitting down with Tatum, running their mouth, doing the three-part interviews. If you remember at the beginning of all this, disconnected their Instagram, lawyered up. You didn't hear nothing from these guys.
Yeah.
They sit down, forge a plan. Don't forget, Warren's stepmom's a judge, okay? She knows everything. So takes a couple of days, sets up everything, and then all of a sudden now we get blanketed with everything from the opposition. And then they accuse us of being, oh, you guys are race baiting. You guys are this, you know that. Y'all are the ones who have been talking more than anything. Anytime I tell you guys anything from Christine, it's from their lawyers, and it's from like a piece of paper from like Benjamin Crump. It's ridiculous. You guys are putting out 19-page documents. These guys like drive me nuts. Okay, so this is the first page, and again, stop it and read it if you want to. It's literally just threatening jargon. This page here is them quoting things that Al Sharpton has said on stage. Notice if you do want to read it, Al Sharpton never said these boys' name. He says 3 young men or 3 boys or 3 teenagers, 3 something. He just groups them in 3, and that is it. He talks about cell phone or whatever, but never names anybody. How are you defaming somebody if you're not saying their names? Like, just give me a break. And even if you want to get in front of a judge and say, you know what, he's using the name 3 boys or 3 white boys, and we all know what that means. Even at that, he's still just saying, it seems like they may have deleted stuff from their cell phone. They were hesitant to, or we heard they were hesitant to give back Nolan's father the keys. So he words it in a way, and it's always a question that he wants to find justice. He wants to find answers. That's not defamatory at all, okay? Let's go to the second page. Sorry, the third page. Now, here's the third page, again, quoting things that he said on stage. You'll see here at the bottom, and I'm not going to read a lot of it, and then he says here, contrary to multiple lies in your defamatory statement, the truth is, here is where the tainting of the jury pool comes in. Warren, Jax, and or Morgan did not touch Nolan's cell phone or keys on July the 4th, 2026. Really? Did they touch it maybe on July the 5th, maybe? See how the wording is here? So he just wants to put, oh, they didn't touch it. And again, people who are not so into this might hear something from a content creator, and that's how it gets in the mind. Warren, Jax, and Morgan did not lie about Nolan's cell phone or keys. Morgan, Jax, and Warren did not admit to having Nolan's cell phone, blah, 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 blah. Again, it's just going on to get their narrative out. And you're going to see in the next pictures, here comes some in the next page, you're going to see some pictures. See, here we go. Factual background. They're talking about the boat going out to Horn Island. Here are the pictures I was talking about. Here's another picture. Then you'll see there's a picture of like, looks like what it's Nolan in the water. This is like at 1 p.m. Like we already know that he was good. Christine already told you that there was one of Nolan's former coaches that were having a conversation with Nolan at around 2:30 to 3:15. And by the way, the coach said that he was totally coherent and totally fine. Why are you sharing these pictures at 1 p.m.? Nobody's worried or concerned about those times. Again, they have to put these things out to change a narrative to get people on their side and taint the potential future jury pool. Here's that same picture now. I think, or maybe it might be a second picture, but then you'll see at the bottom here, there's Nolan in the water. Why are we doing this? And then here is the last one with, again, some coordinates. But for those of you who paused and read, you'll see it's quoting Al, not doing anything defamatory. But then the rest of the document is them trying to push out their narrative. It's the same thing they did on former officer Tate.
And you know what, y'all? I always wondered, why did he come from only for Al Sharpton, but did not come from Ben Crump? And I was thinking, why? Because y'all know that he only can practice in 3 states. And that's New York, New Jersey, and Texas. And we know, if y'all don't know, I know Al Sharpton is from New York, right? So that's where he practiced at. I don't know when Ben Crump is from. So that's probably why they didn't come after Ben Crump and they didn't come after Nancy. Because he only got licensed in 3 states. That's New York, New Jersey, and Texas. So I don't know what Ben Crump is from. Maybe y'all know in the chat. I really don't know. So that's why he probably didn't come after Nancy, Ben Crump, and what's his name? Don Lemon. Okay? Because remember, those was the people on the list that they said it was gonna come after. So I'm thinking, like, why he didn't come after them? Oh, okay. I know why now.
Show. They're sitting down and trying to change their narrative. And once again,
North
also
Carolina.
like to highlight,
So he can't mess with him.
Little Eddie and Little Tyler are only representing.
That's why I don't know if anybody
Morgan,
else noticed that, but
Jax,
I did.
And Warren. Bart got his own lawyer who's working for free, Russell Latino, right? A couple of other people are lawyered up, but these 2 big Donald Trump lawyers, they're only representing these 3 boys. So also do not forget that when you hear about this, they're only talking about the 3 boys, not the other 29 people that were also out there. Okay.
So, and my thing is, that's why I don't know how can he represent those boys in Mississippi, and he don't even have a license for Mississippi. So I'm thinking maybe that's why he got that other lawyer as a backup, because I don't know where that other attorney is from. But I know the lady, the ex-prosecutor, the one that was doing Karmelo case, she was the first one bring that to my attention. I was on her live one day and she said that. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. She said, yeah, you have to be licensed in that attorney licensed in that state. You cannot go out your jurisdiction. And she said he was licensed in Texas, New York, and New Jersey. That's what she said on her live that night.
As you can tell, I'm very annoyed by these two ever since they have been in the mix and been hired from what I think it's from Warren's stepmom. I think that's how they got in there. She probably made some calls, Trump, MAGA, and they're here. Since these two guys have been involved in this case, it's literally been a nightmare for content creators like me because all they're doing is muddying the waters. And because I have to do my due diligence and tell you guys these things so that you could trust this channel and make sure that we're not missing anything and providing anything, I have to always reiterate that it's all it's all just lip service. It's all just them talking to distract from the truth. And that's why I love Christine and I love Elmore so much, because every single time they get in front of a camera, the one thing they say is, we want answers. We want to know what happened to
That's all
Nolan.
they said.
Whatever
And they
the
can't even
results
get
are,
that.
whatever happened or didn't happen,
Sad.
they don't necessarily want it to be criminal. They don't necessarily want it to be whatever it is, no matter what the outcome. They just want to know the truth of what happened to their son. And they finish it off by saying, any parent in the world would want the same thing. Okay.
That's it.
Anyways, stay focused, people. All right, let's move on right now to a new picture that has come out and something about this picture that people are pointing out. New photo of the Triton taken July the 4th. And I'd just like to reiterate, we don't know if this is taken on July the 4th. Just because somebody says that, we don't know until we have metadata.
That's true.
The boat that was involved in a CEDO call. And the person writes, if the boat is sinking, why does the girl in the red stripe looks like she's posing for a picture? Now, we have said this a bunch of times, like, if these pictures are real, it is still not helping your case because, yeah, you're sinking, you're calling CETO, but you don't want the Coast Guard. Your grandfather is calling the captain saying, don't come out. Bart is allegedly taking pictures and other people are taking pictures. And now you have the girl in the red swimsuit. She's sitting there posing for a picture. But you're in water and you're afraid you're going to sink. Like, you're sinking so badly that you can't wait for Nolan, or you can't say, okay, Nolan, talk to Katie and we'll wait for you. No, you got to run so quickly to back to the mainland because your boat's sinking. But the homegirl here is just like, hey, like my bathing suit? Like, what? Does anybody look like they're panicking around here? Like, it's craziness. Anyways, that's just a new picture that came out. Let's move on to the cell phone and what I want to remind everybody, seeing that we are at the top of the week. Ugh, so done with Little Eddie and Tyler. I'm happy we can move on. Okay, guys, we're at the top of the week. If y'all remember, the district attorney of Mississippi last week told Christine and Elmore and Benjamin Crump, y'all have 48 hours to hand in Nolan's cell phone so we could forensically investigate, download, and look in his phone. Christine and Elmore said, nah, y'all have last Tuesday to Friday to follow through with our original plan to duly forensically investigate Nolan's phone. We're going to do it together. And they said they're available at any time to give them 12 hours notice. The DA has not accepted those dates. Remember, they also said they're waiting for Dr. Roger Mitchell as well, too, to examine the rest of the findings from the autopsy.
Yeah, y'all, he is right. I'm glad he brought that up. Do anybody know, was the phone ever gave to Mississippi? Did they ever go in with their people to sit down to go through the phone? Do anybody ever? That's what I'm saying, y'all. We're not getting updates. We don't know nothing because we're not getting updates. So we don't know. I don't know. I never heard anything about the phone since they had the press conference. You know, if the phone went in already, did they sit down together as a team to go through the phone? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know none of that. Hold on.
Guys, those deadlines, both those deadlines have passed. What is going to happen?
Oh, you don't
What's
think
going to happen?
so?
We think
That's
that
what
we're going to
I'm
get an
saying.
answer for our conclusion to the second autopsy. Think about this. What's going to happen with Nolan's cell phone? I've been trying to hint to y'all, but I just want to remind you. These distractions from their lawyers are nothing compared to the autopsy, our second autopsy, and what is inside Nolan's cell phone. Also, last video I did about Christine and Elmore and Benjamin subpoenaing the CETO phone calls and what we can get from there. For those who didn't see it, I'm going to put it in a comment section below and I'm going to pin it. There is going to be a lot more coming from this case. And from what I've heard, it might be coming this week. I told you guys last week, a lot. Don't get distracted by the Al Sharpton and the defamation. They've been saying this defamation for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and nobody has been sued. People have got one person, one Instagrammer that has like, I don't know, I think like 50, 60,000 followers. Like, no shade to her, but I'm just saying, like, nobody big, no multi-million-dollar lawsuit, nothing. And she was like, yo, I'm poor, I'm broke, and I'm going to use this.
Thank you for the support, sis. Thank you. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Now, see, y'all, I don't blame her for not giving the phone up. I'm not even going to lie. I'm straight up being honest. I don't blame her for not doing that, because all the cover-up that I feel and that I see that's going on, if she would have gave that phone up in the beginning, right, would they try to cover up the phone and say, well, we didn't see anything, right, and gave the phone back. But all the time, they know they seen some shit. Like I believe they seen some shit now, and they know some shit is foul play now, and they try to cover it up. So I don't blame her for not giving up her son's phone. I don't blame her for that. As a mother that want to know what happened to your child, I don't blame you. And special, another thing, when you know you are living in a state where it's racist and so many things has been going on with Black people and everything being covered up, okay? Every time a Black person get deceased there and the medical examiner is ruling something else and she know it's not that, come on. Will you trust people like that? No. So I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Now, have the phone been given up, with the other, attorneys and stuff, and they sit down together? I don't know. Now, would they try to use that against her? Well, we didn't find no findings or anything. Everything is, it was an accidental death. Could they try to use that against her now because of the phone, because they didn't get the phone? Because I believe when they came on and said something about the phone, right? Because they already knew the deal with the phone, right? So they waited till she went out of town to say something about the phone. I think they did that to try to make her look bad. Oh, well, we can't finish up nothing because we don't have the phone. We giving her 24 hours to get the phone. And what people did, they took what they did and they ran with it to make Christina and the family look bad. That's exactly what they did, because I know they know that family was out of town. Okay, they waited till that family got on the roads to do some foul shit like that. They knew that.
This demand letter or defamation letter, I'm going to use it to grow my followers and to grow my channel and to grow my everything. And then you haven't heard about her. Don't get distracted.
Oh, really, Auntie? Okay. Well, we going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see how this go. I mean, like I said, I will keep up with it as much as I can. But if I go to different stories, I come back. You know what I'm saying? But I would definitely always have my eyes open. But I hope they do. We'll see.
Focus on the subpoena of the CETO calls, cell phone, which I wish I could tell you guys about, but I know y'all are smart. You'll figure it out what's on there. I already saw you guys in the comment section last week when we talked about the cell phone. A lot of you are very, very on point with that. And also to the second autopsy. We are not done. Do not give up hope on this family. Shout out to Christine, shout out to Elmore, and shout out to the entire legal team led by attorney Benjamin Crump. All right. Okay. That is all I have for you for now. Please sound off. Let me know what you think about this defamation letter. Let me know what you think about.
I don't think nothing about it is full of shit.
Also, last week, remember I told you guys that they sent letters to Nancy Grace and Don Lemon? Like, this is just crazy. So let me know what you think about this whole defamation thing. And also, while you're at it, please do not forget to sound off with the subpoena, the cell phone, and the second autopsy.
All right, let me see what else I can find right quick. I didn't know they sent the letter to Don Lemon, and he don't even say nothing, y'all. Like, he don't. Like, literally, he always respectful. He never accused those boys of, oh my God, these people is crazy. Oh my God, they is definitely crazy. Wow. What in the world? They definitely want to shut people up. I ain't gonna lie about that. Let me see. Yeah, they definitely want to shut people up. I can see that. That's something they definitely want to do. I did see. I don't know. Well, they can't shut me up. I shut up if I want to shut up. You ain't gonna shut me up. I ain't gonna let nobody bully me and tell me what to say and what not to say. Oh no, you're not gonna bully me. He said, "Why is no one talking about this?" Let's see what he got to say. Let's see what old Willie got to say, y'all. Oh, Willie.
What's up, family? I'm having a hard time trying to reconcile.
Y'all, I love him. I ain't gonna lie.
Nolan Wells' friends and these people, the authorities who are supposed to be searching for the body.
Hey, Cameron.
How they missed
Auntie.
the body. Well, I think I figured it out with the friends. The friends
Hey,
were
Mel.
not there. They wasn't part of
How are you
the
doing
search
today?
party. They was not there. They were
Are you going live tonight? I was just reading one of your thumbnails while I was live.
were allegedly at home asleep or something, you know. Somebody even said that they were at some point eating lunch or something at a restaurant or something, while the search teams are out searching for the body of their friend. Something else that I find very peculiar, right? So Nolan Wells' father said that he and a high school buddy,
everyone knows
and
each other.
I believe he said
Yes.
a coach or somebody, and
Yes.
his wife, Christine, they all went out on a boat. They went out there. Well, let me back up.
So, Auntie, do you think they got the phone already? I mean, I'm just asking because I don't know. Do you think they got the phone from when they requested the phone? Do they think they? Because, like I said, is no one talking about the phone no more. So, I don't know. What do you think? Did they get the phone? Did both sides get a chance to go through the phone to see what was in the phone? If they did, what do you think, y'all? I don't know what to think at this point because I didn't hear nobody say anything else about the phone. And if he wouldn't have said anything about the phone, Trent, I wouldn't even thought about it, you know? So I was just asking y'all, what did y'all think about it? Did y'all think that they got the phone? They went through the phone already? Did they find anything in the phone? I don't know. It's just my thoughts. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
They went to the island and they had two teams. They broke up into two teams. One team searched one end of the island. The other team searched the other end of the island. So they was essentially the first search teams out on Horn Island looking for Nolan Wells, right? They say they searched both ends of Horn Island. Nolan was nowhere in sight. Next thing you know, Cajun Navy shows up and voila, they got the body. They see the body.
Damn, y'all, he made a good point. I never thought about that. Did y'all hear what he just said? Did y'all hear what Willie just said? They went back, they searched everything, they didn't see no Nolan. But then when the diving people went there, voila, Nolan pops up. How do y'all feel about that? Great point he made. Where did Nolan come from so fast?
In the same place that Nolan Wells's parents, or at least their friends, had already allegedly searched. Did I tell y'all that there were rumors out there that Nolan's body was suspected of being dumped?
I heard a lot of people say that.
Cajun Navy. Yeah, well, anyway, fam, Nolan's friends
Yes, the boys dumped.
had what?
Dumped
A few
there
boats. A few of his friends
earlier.
had boats, right?
Okay, yes, because they said.
Why didn't they volunteer
they
their
set
boats
it
to go
all
out there and
off.
search for Nolan?
They set it all of it up.
Why were
okay?
they
set
doing
the
other
stage.
things? Why didn't they volunteer their boats? Why didn't they call the parents and say, hey, I got a boat. Let's go find my friend. Let's go find my best friend.
And y'all did not say that? Why did now they knew that Nolan was missing, and they loved it, the mother and father, like they say they did. Why they didn't offer, like Willie just said, and I said it too, the boat? Why? Well, we can take our boat back out there. We'll help you find your son. If you were so much of a good friend and you loved the Nolan so much, you've been knowing Nolan since 8th grade. Why didn't you and your family members offer to take them back out there? Why? Okay? Why? They didn't do it. But the father friend did. But not Nolan's so-called friends didn't do it. And they had a boat. Yeah.
They didn't do that. Interesting. Absolutely interesting. Okay. Hey fam, we're gonna figure this out. Let me just think about it a little bit more. Let me think about it. So they had boats, but they didn't go search for them. They went to sleep. They didn't offer Nolan's parents any help to search for him. Were they even curious?
She said no, because they had his body stored away hidden in one of those boats. Ooh, girl. Say it. I heard that before too. They didn't offer because Nolan wasn't there yet. Okay. The Navy has been a suspect for a while with them. And you know what, y'all? I heard the people that the callers, the boat, the people that supposed to rescue them when they call, whatever they call them, and I heard that they been knew them families too. Yeah, I heard they been knew them families too. They was cool with them families. Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I heard. Yep. And where is Vicky? Vicky should have came out and spoke by now, because everybody keeps saying that those calls was fake, and all that stuff. Well, Vicky would be the only one again know if it's fake, because Vicky was the one that got the 911 call. Okay, so she would be the only one. And again, when you call anybody on a 911 call, your call is being recorded as soon as you dial 911. Okay, and a lot of people probably don't know that again. Okay. Your call is being recorded. It's going all across the dashboard. Everything that's being said, all that's being recorded. And I know that's a fact from experience. I know that. And they didn't know that. And that's why when that recording came out, y'all, they went crazy. They went crazy. Yeah.
As to what had happened to Nolan, were they curious?
She said, "Baby Vicky
Is
is
this
hot."
even normal? Is this how you? Maybe I don't know, man. Because I ain't never had a
Sis,
friend
stop it.
go missing on my watch,
She said, "Baby Vicky is
and
hot and
I went
laying
home and went to
low."
bed. So maybe this is just me. Let me know, fam. Am I out of pocket here? Am I, am I reaching?
No.
Like, is this normal for somebody whose friend went missing and might be suspected of drowning? Is that normal for that friend, the alleged friend, to just go home and go to sleep while his friend is missing? Allegedly missing, perhaps dead?
And the audio would not
Yeah.
lie. Exactly.
Interesting. People have already they've proven that there are cameras out there, right? There were cameras everywhere. Bree, just Bree. She has done an excellent job in documenting where those cameras are on Horn Island. Lots of cameras. Cameras at the dock.
That's another thing, y'all. Now we see everybody. Now y'all remember the white lady I showed y'all when she went out there and showed all the cameras on the houses and all that stuff like that. And then it was another content creator, I think on Instagram. She showed the cameras and all of that stuff, and the camera on the bridge and all of that. A camera was on the dock and all that. So you mean to tell me they can't even come out and say they reviewed the cameras, but I can't say what we seen on the cameras? We can take that you can't tell us, what y'all seeing on the cameras. But damn, you can't even come out and say, yes, we reviewed the cameras. Yes, we took we reviewed the boat. Yes, we are reviewing the CETO call. I mean, y'all can't come out and say nothing. Yes, we did the autopsy. We're not going to say anything about that right now. I mean, y'all can't come out and say nothing to the public, like literally nothing to the public. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. It don't make them look good like that prosecutor said. Remember the white guy y'all I played? It don't make them look good. It just make them don't look, it make them look suspicious in my eyes. For real.
Cameras by the rocks. Cameras at homes, businesses, on the road, streets near intersections. One of those cameras, at least one of those cameras saw something. Why is it that we haven't heard of anybody releasing any surveillance, any camera footage at all of the incident or of those 2 days, July 4th, 5th, or 6th, 3 days? Nobody. Don't y'all find that a little strange that nobody has provided video footage besides the little stuff that you see where images are obscured? That's the only thing you really see where, like you see a few images of people on boats or whatever in the water, and that's it. But I'm talking about Nolan going missing. Don't you find it strange that nobody has released any type of footage at all?
Yeah,
I mean,
find it
just
strange.
just where something don't look right, right? Usually people put out something.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Where's that camera footage? Or are they gonna try to tell us that the cameras don't work? All of those cameras didn't work?
Facts.
Come on now.
Will it be on it?
The friends reportedly searched Horn Island and found nothing. This is the family friends. True friends, real friends. The friends of the family searched Horn Island and found nothing. Well, there's some friends who say they were friends, who alleged friends that also searched.
Oh yeah, they've been quiet now, sis. They ain't
Has
saying
the
nothing
boat
now.
been
They've been
searched?
real quiet. Yep, they've been quiet.
Has the boat been?
Have y'all noticed that last interview that they did with Mr. Potato with that attorney? You have not heard nothing else from them boys? Nothing at all. They have got quiet. But believe me, y'all, they may be quiet, but they're watching.
Cleaned? Has the boat been examined? We need to know that. Was Nolan found in the area that had already been searched? Investigators should compare boat GPS, phone records, and search routes. Could ties, terrain, or visibility explain why Nolan was initially missed? Who searched where? When and how long? Do they have video of when they found Nolan? You know, if I'm out there searching and I see something, I'm gonna make sure I'm recording.
Because everything you say.
Where's that recording of when they first located Nolan's body? Forensics need to come in and determine how long Nolan's body was actually laying in the position that it was lying in. Yeah.
That's another point. They can tell how long he been there. Was he just put there? And when was he put there? They know that. And that's a good question, Willie. That's a good question. How long was he there? When was he put there? Around about what time? Oh, yeah. Good question.
When? How long? That's important.
Yeah.
Was Nolan in that location the entire time?
That's right.
We need to know that. We need to know. Because we're not just going to ride with whatever local law enforcement says. Local law enforcement cannot be trusted. For good reason. They cannot be trusted.
At all.
Anybody, and I mean anybody, even local law enforcement would have to be a fool to trust local law enforcement. All you gotta do is look at their record. You'd have to be a fool, a plumb fool, to believe anything that comes out of that office. Yeah, this is one of those, fam, that this is a hard one right here. This is a hard pill to swallow, fam, because I think it's going to be extremely difficult to get justice when you got all of these different agencies backdoing each other with cover. I'm talking about.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing he's saying, because they all know each other as like a family. They're snakes. They're covering up. Yes.
My back to back, like this one's supposed to oversee this one. Boom. I don't see anything wrong. This one's supposed to oversee this, but we don't see anything wrong. It's like there really ain't a checks and balance, at least not a legitimate checks and balance. Yeah, man. This is a cold-blooded case, fam, and you know,
it is.
It's gonna take God to come down here and get justice for this family.
Yes, I believe that.
What say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to.
Okay, y'all, let's go to Metcalf and see what he got to say, because he did a video before I get off. Let's see what his ugly ass got to say right quick. Let's time in, y'all. Let's time in. Okay, I think he did this with. Look, I can't stand this man.
During the court proceedings, character out of what was happening that day, and just focus on the facts of what happened underneath the tent. I wasn't made aware of this until almost at the end.
Stop lying.
That this was going to take place.
Stop lying. You knew about that shit.
Karmelo to testify, so I could finally ask one question of why That's my main question.
You don't start
And they
lying
proceeded
already.
to go all the way back to fourth grade, and started to dig up every single bit of any school records, police records, whatever, from fourth grade on. They had an incident at school, playing a game, happened. Yes, they were also disciplined at home. They had an incident with some spray paint, and they even said to the police officer, "Yeah, we did some dumb stuff. We did some vandalism."
Yeah, they thugs.
Well, I had a little bit more harsher words when they got to my house and got home, because they were definitely disciplined. And I said, "This is not behavior that I condone. You know it. You're going to suffer consequences for this behavior." And
I
some
agree,
of the other
Auntie.
school stuff, both my boys, did they have mouths on them? Unfortunately, yes, they did. But so do most teenagers growing up.
Yeah, some teenagers do got a lot of mouth on them, but your kids were straight thugs and bullies. Okay, and stop acting like you did not know what was in that report. Okay, when it comes to your son, you knew, and your kid's mother knew. Okay, again, was you and your kids' goddamn life that you don't know what the hell your thug twins was doing out there? So how you gonna sit there and say that you had no knowledge? You had a knowledge. You either had it or you didn't. Which one? Because if you didn't, that means you was not in your children's life. So which one it is? You just trying to cover up and gaslight people.
I had the standard, or I don't want to say normal, but or standard. There's really, but raising a child, he didn't, commit a felony. He didn't kill someone. He didn't drive drunk. Those things are like some major things that can affect you. They were typical teenagers, saying and doing things that typical teenagers do in today's society. I didn't grow up that way. I didn't have the internet, social media, cell phones. All this has contributed to the moral decay of society. And I believe it's made the race gap even larger, when all we want to do is close the gap. I don't understand. I mean, who cares who's president? It changes every 4 years. Your son's life, how long is that? Hopefully longer than 17 years, because that's all the life.
Your son would have been here if he was no fucking bully. He been bullying people all his damn life since he was 10 years old. Your son would be here right now. But no, he instead want to keep bullying people. So what you thought, nothing, your son was going to keep going, living his life, bullying people, cursing out teachers, saying racist things to people, and nothing was going to happen?
That Austin got. Austin was a good kid, loyal.
No, Austin
loving.
was not loyal. Austin was a
They say
snake,
he's a bully?
just like you.
No, not necessarily. He joked around a lot. Wasn't a bully. I'm not a bully.
Yes, you are.
People can misconstrue me as a bully. People don't want to face me. They don't want to talk to me. They want to sit behind a keyboard and try to attack me. I've got the armor of God on my side. So whatever you throw at me, I'm ready. I said what I said. Not my finest moment.
Your son was just like you. He was ready for whatever. Whatever someone threw at him, he was ready for it. He got his nasty bullying ass ways from his dad. I don't think it was too much of the mother, because the mother, I think she was scared of them like the mother was scared of you too. Okay? You was the main bully, and your kids got it from you. Be honest. Okay? He's deceased. He's dead and gone now. Just be honest and tell the truth. The truth will set you free.
That night when I was emotional. Let me ask you one question. What would you say to someone if your son was murdered and you had to sit there for 14 months and listen to the vile lies, comments, and memes about yourself, your sons, and not say a word? Let me ask you, what would be your response? Because here's something everybody's forgetting. Austin and Hunter, they're not on trial. They're not convicted of a crime. They didn't murder someone. But yet you want to attack their character? You better look in the mirror and check yourself. If you're that low of a person to come after a dead child, I pray to God you don't have children. Because if you're instilling that hate into them, you're just perpetuating the cycle.
No, we're not instilling hate. We're not doing that. We're just calling out that your son was a fucking bully when he was alive. I'm sorry you lost your son. I'm really is, you know. I will never talk down on a deceased person, but your son was a bully. Just admit he was a bully. Don't cover up what came out about him. Okay? You saying your son wasn't on trial. He probably would have been on trial if the lady didn't, you know, drop the charges or didn't want to press charges on your son. Yeah. He punched her daughter in the stomach, you know, smacked one girl side the head. He did a lot of things. Okay? Your son could have been on trial for things too that he have done. Calling the teacher bitch. Yeah. And maybe you should have arrested him when he broke your goddamn shoulder. And maybe the mama should have got him arrested when he choked across the goddamn neck. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have to break the cycle. We have to make the change.
And you didn't do that. That's why your boys the way they
Dr.
are.
Carter, he's helping me make the change. I know everybody says, how does this work? He's black and white. Because neither him nor I see color. This is what we see right there. Red. We all bleed the same. Now, if you choose to believe in God or not, that is your personal decision. I'm not here to tell you what to do, except for make a change, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And if you think you're part of the solution, tell me what you're doing. Tell me the action you're taking. What action are you taking to be a part of the solution? Because you're not doing anything, because that means if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Why? How? Well, if you're a person who is good and sees the problem and ignores it and does nothing about it, you're just as bad as the person with the problem. Change takes action.
And y'all see why.
I talk.
So you mean to tell me you was a part of the problem because you seen the things that your twins was doing and you didn't stop it? So do you think you was a part of the problem because you didn't stop them from doing the things they was doing, beating up young girls, cursing them out, calling them names? Your son talking about he was gonna bring a weapon to school, calling people niggers, calling teacher bitches. You didn't see a problem with that to get your son some help? He was a problematic child. He was. Whether you want to say it or not, he was.
You see why? No, because what happens is this.
Passionate.
I can never tell you I know what Jeff is feeling. I'd be a liar.
He needs some more.
I can't imagine what he's feeling.
He needs some lip
But
gloss
he was
and
prepared
some
not to
lotion.
speak today.
That's what he needs, this man here.
This information that came out about his boys before I ever signed on to be a part of the board, he told me, full disclosure, hey, before you say yes, I want you to know this, I want you to know this, I want you to know this. I can respect that every day. When he found out the first day from the DA what was coming down the pipe, he called me, sad voice, what's wrong with you? Man, I can't believe what my boys done did. He told me everything. I'm not sure that people understand what respect is. So I respect Jeff. You may not like what he give you, but I can respect his forwardness and I can respect his honesty. To me, those are qualities that if more of us had those, we could work past our differences. So the gentleman's agreement. I'm on record saying that I thought, based on the information I had, that Karmelo should have got 10 to 15 years manslaughter. That was the information I had. After the information was made public, I had to change that view.
Because you was the father friend.
And thank God, he should be thanking God. His family should be thanking God that there was a gentleman's agreement. I personally believe that that gentleman's agreement saved him from having a lot more years.
You need to go get some lotion for them hands.
Myself, no one else can claim self-defense when you can escape. I will say this. Out of the things that were presented, that was a part of the gentleman's agreement. Based on those facts, because we have to treat his boy's information as facts, so that means we have to treat these as facts. You cannot have, or you should not, people do what they want to. You should not walk away and say he did what he had to do. He pushed him. These are the things I've heard. And these are from people that I'm looking like, I don't understand what you're saying.
It ain't for you to understand. People can say what they want to say.
As a young, having been a young boy, all I did was fight. Some of the people I had a fight with, we became friends after the fight. So we're telling all these young people, if somebody put their hands on you, you have the right to kill them.
That's not what nobody said, man. That's what you said. And your days is over, okay? Your generation. It's a new generation out here now, okay? So these young people ain't gonna see things like we want them to see it. We would love for them to see the things that, you know, and you know, the generation we came up in, and things would be better, you know, but it's just not like that. Okay? So what are you talking about here?
That puts my children in harm's way. That puts your children in harm's way. As a society of people, in an imperfect America, very imperfect, racism has destroyed people. It's robbed people. But I went to an all-white college with 3 black girls in the cornfield. Race did not play a factor in the Midwest of Iowa, in America, in the last 10 years than I've ever seen in my lifetime. More freedoms, more opportunities. The racist is rearing its ugly head. So I believe we all have a responsibility to kill it at every time we can. Because every action is not racism. Some of it's ignorance, some of it's stupidity, and some of it's for gain. People put things in place so they can get likes, shares, followers, ratings. Because I really wonder, what would have happened if both the boys were black? You all wouldn't have had nothing to cover for the last 14 months.
No, we still would have covered it, motherfucker.
Those are facts.
No, it's not facts.
So the question becomes, what do we do as a society? Do we label Jeff a racist? Do we continue labeling Mia Uncle Festus, Uncle Ruckus, coon, traitor, sellout? It's a lot more out there, but I'm not a big social media person. But yet, I have a doctor's degree. I venture to say that in my 20 years,
too damn little for you to be sitting
more
at.
young black men than the NAACP, Urban League, and the vast majority
You need
of the
some
churches.
damn lotion on your arms and hands. You look ashy
I've
too.
given my life. But because when it comes to kids, it's not about the color of their skin, it's about the need and the purpose. So what do we do from here? The Austin Metcalf Foundation will, against all the odds, will go out and find and touch young people across the country. We will put in front of them what they need to understand what can happen if you don't get your emotions in check. For him, it's a gravesite to go visit.
Why the fuck you ain't telling him that? That's what boy, you gonna make me say something I don't want to say. Boy. His damn twins, their emotions got them where he at today. And taking up for his punk ass brother. Because we all know the brother said, my brother takes up for me whether I'm wrong or right. Whether he starts the fight or not. If he come and get me, I'm there. I'm on it. I'm going to take up for my brother. The twin brother said that out of his own damn mouth. Their emotions have took over a lot. That's why they was abusive to women. Everybody that those boys came in contact with, it was women. They was very abusive to women. And where do you think they got that from, Mr. Doctor? They got it from their daddy. Because I can believe, in my opinion, what I'm thinking, the daddy probably, allegedly, used to beat the mama ass. And they seen that. And they had a complex against women. And then they thought it was okay that they go ahead and knock the mama goddamn head between the wash machine and dryer. Because what? They seen it from the daddy. Talk about that, Mr. Doctor. Okay? Now, ain't nobody saying they glad his son is not here. That's not what we saying. But we are saying he need to take some type of accountability for the things that his sons have done.
For the Anthonys, it's a prison cell. Those are the harsh realities. And if we don't start making that an issue, it's going to be another black and white issue soon. Y'all have another story to run for months and Sundays.
Why are you worried about what people running?
But these become so far and few. It's not an everyday occurrence. But I can guarantee you this. I'll stake whatever the Lord has blessed me with.
Good.
That this weekend across this country, some young black kid's gonna get killed by another young black kid. And we're not gonna chase this story.
Yes, we will.
I guarantee you that.
Yes, the fuck we will.
That's the problem.
And whoever go to jail, they go to jail. And we're going to cover it until the end.
There's little value on this life. But because this life has value, it became a story. He just happens to be in the story. Which is the saddest thing. 2 days ago, 5 a.m, someone's texting him from Kentucky. It's a kid. They go back and forth in this long, he shows it yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to see this crap. But he goes through this battery of texts with this kid to where the kid eventually is apologizing. It's a young black kid, so he just wanted to have fun. He's apologizing. He's thanking him for walking through it and not calling the police on him. So kids do dumb stuff. But unfortunately, in the society we're in, if you a parent, you have to tell your child, dumb stuff today in our current society can cost you your life or your freedom.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And I'm the first person to say, if Karmelo Anthony was my son.
Well, he wasn't.
two things would have. Well, the first thing would have happened. He would accept the responsibility for what he did. I would have fell on the mercy of the court. I would have been calling the other family saying, I'm so horribly sorry.
That's you. Don't nobody have to do what the fuck you want them to do, or I'll feel the way you feel, or do what you think they should have done. That's you. Speak for yourself.
I believe that his parents, I've met them, I believe they're good, decent people, but they were misguided. Because that's what I would have did. And I would have had, hopefully, someone in his family saying, you know what? Show some mercy. Hold him accountable, but show some mercy. First mistake.
You don't know where their heart was at.
Number two, if it was my
like you didn't know what that damn lotion was at this on
Only
that damn video.
I
You
would
missed
make
that
sure
damn lotion.
that my son knows I love you. I'm going to try every appeal process for you. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to show up at every parole because that's all I can do because I'm your parent. So I expect his parents to file every motion possible because I would do it as a parent. And you would do it as a parent. So we should not dog out the Metcalfs for wanting whatever is justice to them. If there's a justice, we should not target the Anthony family for fighting for their child. But division sells.
God damn, he ashy.
Republican, Democrat, Blood Crip.
He like he been working in the farm.
Omega, Kappa. CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox. At some point, when do we become normal people?
We are normal people.
That's
we
what
just
I'm
make
hoping.
fucked up decisions
I'm
sometimes.
hoping through this journey with this foundation, we're able to close the gap of division. We can be different, but we don't need to be divided. Because that's where we are today. We're divided. And when you make a choice that you believe is morally right, and you don't pick a side, then you're scrutinized by the side you didn't
We're not
pick.
picking a side. Only thing
When I
we
wake up in the
saying
morning, I
that
don't wake up to
Karmelo
pick
did
a
not
side.
get a
I
fair
wake up
trial.
to say, what
We're not
do I
saying
believe
that
is right
what
based
he
on who
did
I
was
say
right. Okay? We're not saying what he did was right. We know it wasn't right, right? But what we're saying, he did not get a fair trial because they didn't want the light to be on your friend right here next to you, the narcissist. You know, they didn't want that light to shine on his son, his twin thug sons, to see how they really was, how they was bullying people and things they were saying, and you know how they would punch girls in the face and knock them down and kick them in the stomach. They didn't want those type of things to come out, and you know it. You know it. You know it. Okay? You know it. Stop it.
We got to start putting that in our children. Because believe it or not, 10 years with AI and all the other stuff out here, and whatever comes after that, 10 years is now like 50 years. So where things were like changing over the decade, it's going to be changing over the year.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the way in America,
Mm-hmm.
in your community, next door neighbor, we have to start bridging this gap. And if we don't do that, I don't know what family's next. I don't know what mother's in pain. But there are mothers that the foundation sponsored gatherings with who are in tremendous pain. Killers haven't been prosecuted. The only difference between their situation and Jeff's is their kid was black, his kid was white. They were all killed by a young black person. And no justice. So yeah, we have some issues. We have some systemic issues. We have some culture issues. So the Austin Metcalf Foundation will be that gap, will be that bridge. And we're going to take this tragedy. I can't fix his pain. I can't change that. I can't change the nightmare that Karmelo Anthony's parents are going in, but I can try to prevent someone else to do it. And that's why I'm a part of the Austin Metcalf Foundation. That's why I believe in it. And that's why I will continue to believe in it and fight for it at every level. So when you attack that foundation, you attack me because I'm tied to it. So I will push back
give a
on anyone
damn.
that attacks the
Go
foundation.
put some lotion on. Shit.
As long as I have breath in me and I'm a part
Your
of it.
damn face darker
With
than
that,
your damn hands.
I will open the floor for questions.
Mr. Metcalf, I have a couple, 3 questions for you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with
Couple, 3?
you. Couple, 3, sorry. 3 questions. You alluded to this. We all heard new information in court last week about Karmelo Anthony and about your son, including allegations of his use of racist words, violence, threatening violence. What would you say to people who think about Austin and the foundation in his name differently now?
I mean, if you're trying to judge a person on just a snippet of someone's life or a 10-second,
That's what y'all did, Karmelo.
someone saying something without having the whole context, I would ask these people, did you know my son personally?
Did you know Karmelo?
Or were you just
Did your family know
listening to
him?
the little snippet that was in court?
And the little
That's only
snippet
20
that was in the
pages.
court of
That's for both
Karmelo.
my sons.
Yeah. The same thing that you saying, ask yourself about Karmelo. Could y'all judge him too from his childhood? Yeah. What the hell is we talking about here?
I don't know why they chose both my sons. Hunter's still alive. He's not on trial.
Hunter ain't on trial, but Hunter better keep his goddamn mouth shut. Shit.
Neither was Austin. He's not on trial. Me personally, I don't believe character had nothing to do with being brought into this trial for the victim. The victim can't speak. The victim's dead. He's murdered.
No.
That's
we
not
needed that. You mad because it's out. We needed that because I had a feeling that your sons was not the perfect boys. I just couldn't prove it. Okay? But you mad because it came out. Okay? And you mad because, you knew that the character was not going to come out and why it wasn't going to come out. Don't sit there and act like you didn't know. You knew. You knew that. Because again, was you in your boy's life or you was not in your boy's life? Because if you was in your boy's life, whether this character came out or not, you knew your kids was dangerous, evil, mean, okay? Doing mischievous things to people. You knew your son was cursing out teachers, getting in trouble at school. You knew all that shit. Stop trying to act like you didn't fucking know. Because you know damn well you knew.
We're arguing here. Now, did I know about every single text that they said derogatory terms? No, I didn't. I would challenge every parent. Do you know?
Okay, so that means Karmelo mother didn't know everything that was going on in his phone also. Okay? I said that.
Exactly what's on your kid's phone, every single word? Because if they delete it, how do you know? Now, the couple of incidents that I mentioned before that involved law enforcement, yes, that was handled at home also. I don't condone that behavior. I mean, I'm a father. I have a responsibility. I have to try to instill some sort of guidance, some moral compass, some values. And then people want to come at me and accuse me of not having values and morals and I'm this and I'm that.
You did the same thing to Karmelo and their mother.
My grandfather told
said
me
they didn't raise their son
it's
right.
none of my business what other people think about me. And that's very true. Because actually, I said this before, you only control 2 things in your entire life. That's it. Your actions and your attitude. Everything else is mental noise. You want to yell and jump up and down and scream and protest and chant on courthouse steps? Didn't change a thing.
Look at you throwing shade, bald head.
And I stand on the facts. And I stand on the fact that I've made mistakes. I stand on the fact that I've said some things in my life that not my finest moment, and I regret. I would challenge any person in the world. Have you ever fallen short? Because I haven't met the person who walks on water and changes it to wine here. So if you're pointing the finger, 3 fingers pointing back at you. Remember, it's not your job to judge. It's God's job.
That's what you did, Karmelo parents. That's what you did to them. You judged them.
Saith the Lord. It's not for me to attain. I was robbed of something. I don't understand it, and I won't understand it.
You understand it.
Beside us.
You know your boys was bullies.
But till that, I believe in God. I trust his plan. I don't always agree with it. Why he needed my son at 17, I won't have that answer till I get there. But I'm not going to torture myself running it through my head. I'm not going to torture myself listening to these outside voices that really mean nothing to me at all. Are you involved in my life? Do you know me personally? Do you care about me? My inner circle, they all know who I am. Most of my friends outside, work constituents, they all know who I am. I'm very consistent. I'm straight to the point. I'm very honest. And I take accountability if I screw up.
No, the fuck you don't.
That's what I was trying to teach my boys. That's what I tell them. You're free to make any choice in life you want, but you are not free from the consequences. I stressed that to them as much as I could. Because
they did make a choice to be a fucking bully.
When dad's not 5 minutes away and can kind of help you. You're going to step out into a different world. You're going to become a man. You're responsible for your own choices. Every parent has their kids back. I don't fault the Anthonys for doing the procedurals, legal procedures to try to do everything they can to help their son. I would do the same exact thing.
You understand that because he said it. Because you went right to that courtroom and started laughing and thought it was funny.
And I couldn't.
You a gaslighter.
Say that the trial was biased. If you want to talk about the trial, I'll break it down in 4 parts.
No, we don't want to hear it.
One kid brought a knife to a track meet. Went to a tent where he didn't belong. Was asked to leave. Got into a confrontation. Stabbed the kid. Killed him. Threw the knife. Ran away. That is the basic whole trial. It's a 6-second interaction for my son to be dead. 9:54, both my boys walk underneath the tent. They're there first. 3 minutes later, Karmelo walks under, and 56 seconds later, my son's dead. Gone. Forever.
Stop lying, because Mel showed that video. Mel showed that video that your sons attacked Karmelo first, and it came out in his second opening that your sons attacked him first. So stop lying. It was proof. It came out, and you still sitting there lying.
You tell me how I'm supposed to feel. You tell me I'm not supposed to be angry? I'm not supposed to lash out? I think personally, my faith with God is the only thing that has kept me from doing something stupid or wrong or out of character. I wake up every day. I thank God. I get my eyes open. I had cancer 10, 11 years ago that I was supposed to die. When you're faced with your own immortality, it changes your priorities. Promise. Nothing is important to me other than time. Time is a currency you cannot get back. Your kids grow up once. If you, as a parent, if you choose not to be involved and they become a juvenile delinquent, you're going to blame the kid? As a parent, you probably will, because you're going to take accountability for what you didn't do.
Like you not doing.
You did not raise that child, right? You did not
like you
instill
didn't.
Proper values or guidance. Maybe you're one of these parents that are coming after me right now, and you're showing your kid, I'm full of hate. You should be full of hate too.
Hold on. I want to make sure that I give you an answer to your question, because you're asking about the foundation. That's why I'm done. The foundation has a purpose, and the purpose is to address a serious issue in this country. So, of course, nothing's all-encompassing. It's never going to be for everybody. But I believe that there's enough people who saw this incident that says, I need to do something before I get that knock on my door or I get that phone call. Those are the people that we're concerned with. It's not about the people who was never going to do anything anyway. So the people that are chiming in, you was never going to support the foundation anyway. So that's what I believe will happen, because I know the purpose and I know the hearts behind it. So it'll be successful. It'll flourish. More important, it'll make a difference. And somebody's gonna say at some point, man, if it weren't for that Austin Metcalf Foundation, I probably wouldn't have made it. And that's gonna be the greatest compliment we can ever have. But you have a couple more questions, right?
Yes, sir. I thank you. You mentioned this earlier, Mr. Metcalf, but I'm curious, since this is the first time we've heard from you since the appeal last week, what was it like for you as a dad to sit there and hear what came out about your sons?
Gut-wrenching. Not who I raised them to be. When I saw it, it was a little bit more sensationalized, because if you want to go back and you're just talking about school records from 4th grade all the way, and they only had 20, Hunter and Austin both, there was only 20 pages of stuff. There were 75 pages on Karmelo. The stuff that came out, I'm not proud of my boys for doing that. They got punished at home for that behavior. I don't condone it.
You just said you didn't know. Which one is it? You just said you didn't know your boy was doing that stuff.
Yeah, granted,
Liar.
he is off to school, going to college, kind of away from home, learning to become a young man. He has to live with this. His brother died in his arms. He saw him take his last breath. What am I supposed to tell my son as a parent?
Stop bullying.
I'm at a loss for words sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
we all do
once again,
sometimes.
This why, because we've talked about this, so I have it. So that day, I got a phone call. Jeff had just gotten in the truck. He had a gentleman with him who's his cousin.
Oh, yes, sis. I heard about the other black guy. Yeah, I did.
Outside of stuff, additional stuff that happened at the court that maybe the camera.
Hey, Auntie OG, how you doing
kind of
today?
being toyed with from outside agitation. I get a call, and it's him and the cousin, and he's living, he's screaming, and I'm saying, hey, hold on, bring it down. He says, Bruce, they raped my children through the coals. They did everything to make them look like demons. Calm down. I said, remember this. You knew it existed because you told me a month ago it existed. When it's delivered in a different format, it's still the same information, because you're a fat guy, right? You're a fat guy. Calmed it down because he was about to do an interview with Como. You got to calm this all the way down. You got to know that this is the reality. They said it. You own it. It is what it is. And my words to him was this. Since, not if, since we're going to teach kids about regulating their emotions, you're going to be my first student. So you're going to have to tell these kids that you have to learn how to regulate your emotions. So I didn't take it as Jeff is unfit for the foundation. I taught him he's going to be my greatest pupil. Because we're going to go back and look at these moments when he had to, as a grown 61-year-old man, older than me, listen to me, calm down, and get through the day. So if I'm answering from him, he was living. Because that's what I got from him. But at the end of the day, it was true. He didn't deny that based on what was there, it's factual. It's not manipulated. Somebody didn't make it up. So this is, my kids did this dumb stuff. And I'll say this, I never met Austin, but I met Hunter. Polite, respectful. We joked on the phone.
That's because he didn't know you.
Here's my view of one form of racism. If I'm racist, I'm not being in the room with you. I'm not sleeping in the hotel you were. I'm not renting a car that you've been in, because there's something that's about you that I just can't deal with. I've been called racist.
There's something about you I can't deal with them ashy lips, right? Ashy arms, ashy hands, small suit.
They cannot mean that you're racist. I have friends that I call my redneck friends because they call themselves rednecks. If I say that in an open deal, am I racist? No, they're going to be first one comes to my defense. So I believe what we have to do, and y'all won't print this. When I grew up some years ago, the word nigger meant ignorant. I beat up some people for calling me that, and I got suspended. And my mama said, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Because they called me a nigger." She said, "You're not a nigger. You're not ignorant. You're in the top of your class. You got great grades. That is not, don't mean anything." Now, when you go to Webster and you look up the definition, it's no longer ignorant. It's a derogatory word for Black people. So that means over the last 30 years, the dictionary has changed.
Really?
But in this current society, the word nigger is used by professionals, rappers, NBA players, Black women, and they even call their children young niggas now, YNs. So I'm very careful on my nigger. And you see white boys doing it, white kids, Black kids, Hispanic kids, and they're friends. So
he's with the foundation, with the Metcalf family, with the foundation. That's who he is. He joined them.
the question becomes, who is the person in whole? Because I have seen Black coaches speak highly of Austin in video. I didn't know Austin. I can't speak to who he was or wasn't, but I can go by the people that was around him the majority of the time. And I believe that that's what we have to do when it comes to the totality of a person. You have one more question, right? You had two or three.
Yes,
Okay.
one more question.
All right.
This is something that both of you have mentioned earlier, right? And I'm curious, Mr. Metcalf, did you know about the so-called gentleman's agreement before the trial began? And do you think it was the right thing to do? Or do you think the jury should have heard the information we heard in the appeal last week?
I had no information ahead of time. It was during the trial. So I had no clue what they were going to do. Do I wish it would have come out? Yeah.
From both sides. You wish
Oh, yeah. Look, when you got 20 pages versus 75, and then these words versus.
Y'all, he was just mad because he did not know what was going to come out at the trial, like he said the second time, right? And he didn't want that stuff to come out, so he was upset behind that. He didn't know none of this stuff was going to come out about his son. Yeah, that's what it was.
These words?
That's why he keeps saying, "Oh, well, he got 75 pages versus to what my kids had." He still can't identify that right now. He still feel hurt, that things came out about his bully ass son.
Yeah.
The father of narcissist, the twin of narcissist. That's where they got this shit from.
Thank you both. That's all from me. I appreciate it.
You good?
Good? Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. As a Black mother whose son was murdered by a Black man, I can totally understand what you all are saying. I know that your shirt says, "Here am I, send me." I know that's biblical because I promise you, when you're chosen, you don't have a choice but to use your voice. Would you be doing this now if your son wasn't in the position that he ended up in?
I can honestly say no. It wouldn't have put me into the spotlight to respond. I would have been living our life, going hunting, going fishing, raising my sons, going to college football games, watching them play. It really wouldn't have entered into my circle, my sphere, my life. But I'm thrust into it. Now, I didn't ask for this, so I'm thrust into it. And yes, my shirt, I didn't put the verse, but it is Isaiah 6:8, but I do believe God has reformed me has shaped me in a different person, has made me go through things so I can send this message. Send me. It says it right here. Send me. Well, he sent me here. And now this is where we're at.
And my final question, what advice would you give to us mothers who are looking at you with attitudes of frustration because you seem to be getting justice? My son got no justice, and I've been ridiculed for speaking my truth about my son's murder.
Let me ask you one question. Who is doing the ridiculing?
People who look like me.
I will say this. Those people are showing their true character to you. I feel your pain. We spoke before. We're cut from the same cloth. Just because you're darker, I'm lighter, don't mean nothing. Our hearts are in line. Our thoughts with God are in line. Justice is kind of a screwy word, to be honest, man. Because people ask me, do you feel like you got justice? My answer is no. My son's dead. This other person gets to live. He gets to go home at some point and see his parents. He gets to go back and have a life. Is that justice? Prison, 3 days? I mean, you got 3 meals and a cot? Justice? No.
So what did you want him dead? God damn, the way you talking.
I sat there that night.
Because I think 35 years was justice. I think so with his age.
It ripped me apart. It made me emotional. It made me, when it was over, and you notice, I didn't stick around long. I couldn't, because I went to my car and fell apart. Because every mother there had a story, and their story is important because it's their son. Just because you're black don't mean you mean less. Just because you're white don't mean you mean more. We're all children of God. And to see this pain, and I'll call it out, it is an injustice for you not to ever have that answer. And for the other lady who was across from me, who was, it makes me emotional just talking about it. Ain't got nothing to do with color, nothing to do with race. You love God just like I love God. And God sees every tear that we shed.
He sure do.
And all I can do is pray for those mothers to find peace, pray for them to find some sort of remnants of what do they describe justice as, so they can have some closure. Because I haven't had closure. And to be honest, until this is finally, like the appeal and everything is done, that's when I'll have closure. But today, it's still an open wound with a Band-Aid on it. I got through the trial. I got through the hearings. I don't know what's next, other than I'm assuming the appeal has to go to the appellate court and work its way through the system. But there's still in the back of my head, there's still a day that's coming. And I'm going to deal with it again. And I was starting to heal, believe it or not, a little bit. But when I had to go back into that courtroom,
you shouldn't have went back. Anybody asked you to go back?
To day one.
You wanted to see what the outcome was going to be.
I'm forced to. And then I hear more stuff. Even all the stuff that came out doesn't change the fact my son was murdered. That's it. I can't change that. I have to learn how to live with it, just like you do. And it's not a club you want to be in with these high membership dues. I feel for every parent, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. If you lost your child to a senseless killing, I can relate with you. I know your pain. People come up to me and say, oh, I can imagine how bad it hurts. No, you don't. That's the wrong thing to say. What you say is, I can't imagine, because you can't. I promise.
I'm sick of him,
I
y'all.
thought my deepest pain was when I told me I was going to die, and I had two 7-year-old boys hugging my legs, telling me, Daddy, Daddy, please don't die. That was the hardest moment in my life. But that was my why, to fight, to live, to beat cancer. For my boys, man, that's my motivation. Now I've got one son who's in heaven I want to make proud. I've got another son who's in college I want to make proud. How do I do that? Right here.
So we're done. Y'all, unless y'all got anything, but I will tell you, just to finish up your question. You ask about the foundation. I'll tell you why I know it's going to be successful. That's his life. He doesn't have a job anymore. He had to give up a 25-year career as a realtor for health. For security reasons. So at 61, your face has been plastered all over America. Who wants to put you on their job? So every day he has to.
Well, how you think Karmelo family feel? They were going at that man's job and they fired that man. Come on now. Again, I will never make fun of your son's death, but they did the same thing to Karmelo's dad. But when he was trying to put up GoFundMe's to support his family, like you're trying to support your family, your people were reporting their funds. So they won't get nothing for their kids. The same way you got a son left behind here. This lady have 3 other kids left behind here too. And ain't neither one of her kids is grown, but your other son is grown. And his little motherfucking ass need to be working some damn where.
Get up and fight for this foundation and make it work. And normally when you have the heart and determination and a story, there are some good Americans out here. Our email, the Austin Metcalf Foundation email. We got an email from a police department, from a school, 450 students. We just got another email from a mother who has an organization for kids. So there are people who know the story and the need, and those people will find us and we'll work together. And eventually, some of the very people that's clowning the organization is going to need the organization. But that's the way it is. So, like I said, I thank you.
If I do need it, I won't go through y'all.
We're done if y'all don't have any other questions.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Sick of y'all shit. Hold on, y'all. I won't go through y'all foundation if I did need one, that's for sure. Hold on, y'all. Let me see how to get this shit off the screen. I think it's that. Okay. Yeah. Baby. Oh, yes, Auntie OG. Yeah, I know. Hey, Brittany. Right, Warrior D. Go get a job. Yeah. Like shit, y'all sitting out here trying to make money and stuff, talking about something he can't work because he lost his job. No. You didn't lose your job because of what happened. Don't lie. You probably stopped your job on your own, but no, it was never stated that you lost your job because of what happened. You probably quit your job on your own. But Karmelo dad lost his job due to people coming to his job, calling his job. Then when they was putting up different GoFundMe's and all that stuff to support the family, people was reporting it, getting the shit taken down. They was doing all of that, So what you doing now, you trying to come out with a foundation, which you did, and that's cool, you know what I'm saying, to now support people and support your family and get money. So why can't this family do the same thing? Come on, let's be real. But I see the games y'all playing, and the next time, man, when you come up there, put some Vaseline on your lips, get a bigger suit, could put some lotion on your hands, lotion on your arms, you know what I'm saying, so you can look attractive. Yeah, I'm ready to get up off here. I gotta get me some dinner. Ooh, baby, honey, child. I don't know, y'all. Y'all know I gotta make a joke sometime here and there. Y'all know how I am. Cause that suit was very small and his lips was really dry and his arms and hands was ashy and it just looked nasty. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Yep, you're right. They don't want black people to have anything. That's so true. That is so true. Well, y'all, thank y'all for timing in. I appreciate y'all today. I ran over time. Lord, my granddaughter texts me like crazy. She on her break until she go back to her next class. So I'm going to get off here and fix me something to eat. I am hungry, hungry, hungry. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For the two people that sent me coffees. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. And I would definitely, well, the three people sent me coffees. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And y'all, for the ones again, my lipstick order will be in I think Saturday, Sunday, one day that we I posted on Instagram. If anyone like to buy some, you can hit me up in my inbox, but you have to tell me what your handle name is on um YouTube. Other than that, I won't respond. Peace and love. Same to you, sis. You say you hungry too? Yeah, I'm starving, girl. I gotta go eat. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all be careful out here on these YouTube streets, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I would definitely see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love.